You've seen him for years as Hollywood's bad guy on TV and in movies. Now, listen to him right here. Here's your host, the multi-talented Jasper Cole.
Woohoo! All right. Howdy, 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 and welcome. Finally, we are back on the set with Jasper Cole. This will be your host, Jasper Cole, coming to you live from Sunset Gower Studios on our very historical 2-year anniversary. Let's give it up for that. Yay!
Yay!
And they said it would never last, right?
They did.
We are the terrible twos. We're in the terrible twos now.
You are.
And those voices you're hearing,
Oh.
along with the ones in my head. The first one, first of all, welcome to church services with Cole and Cole.
Here
Reverend,
we go.
yes, because that's what we are. But we're non-denominational. We want to say happy Rosh Hashanah.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you, Dara.
You're
Dara's
welcome.
our
Jewish princess.
Jewess. Is what you are.
Whatever
Yes.
you want to call me.
Whatever.
And what is the name of that?
Lashana Tova.
Lashana Tova.
Yes.
So that will be your drag name.
And and it also sounds like a really high-end
Pardon?
Tova.
Yes.
For
Yes.
Golda Meir.
Oh, was that
Thank
Tova
you.
Felcha?
Wrong Tova.
Oh, wrong one.
Oh.
Well, we're hearing so many different voices.
We are.
So, first of all, I want to say a big welcome to my co-host, the hostess with the mostest, Ralph Cole Jr. Hey, Ralph.
Hello, Jasper, and hello, Planet Eartha.
How are
Can everyone
you?
hear me out there?
I
Am
can hear
on?
you.
On
Good.
our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah.
This is our 2 years ago, you wanted to
Right.
create this dream, and 2 years later, we are fierce, we are syndicated, we are here. Planet Earth, get used to it, okay?
And you remember I went to 50 people, and then I got you,
Right, yeah.
which was really great.
Well,
so I'm very,
Exactly.
they saved the best
it
for
all
last.
worked
Exactly,
out,
thank
right?
you, Jerry. Yeah,
You're
no,
welcome.
it has worked out.
And that lovely voice, the other voice you're hearing, the other woman's voice, would be
Oh,
one of the real women in the room.
Okay.
Our very own entertainment dish with Dara Zane Scully,
Yes!
who drove all the way up from Dakota. She is our real housewife of Orange County.
Yes.
The real deal.
We have been through it, you guys, the three of us. Planet Earth, I was reminding Dara on our first show. We were a little nervous, but we got over that from the very second we started, and from this point on.
It's been downhill ever
It's
since.
been down. But no, thanks to you, Planet Earth, we have millions of listeners. We are syndicated on 2
We
different.
just added some zeros. Go ahead.
Okay, like you do to our
Thank
paychecks,
you.
which we're
Right.
always very appreciative
I'll be
of.
taking yours
You're
back. Go ahead.
But yeah, so I'm really happy how the show has grown and that you guys enjoy listening to our silliness, our zaniness,
Yes.
and our hilarity.
I've never heard that before.
I know. Wow. I know. I try to
Well,
be clever.
speaking of silliness and zaniness, should we introduce our very special guest co-host
I
today?
think we should do that.
Well, go ahead, Ralph.
Well, I'd like to bring on Planet Eartha, a man.
Oh, he hasn't gotten here yet. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He's
I would like to bring on Planet Eartha,
And you're on
a
camera.
man
You're
Don't
on
forget,
camera,
we're all on
Nathaniel. You're
camera.
on
Keep
camera,
it
so
real.
be
that has
careful.
a very big personality. He
Oh.
is a very supportive individual in the film and television arena. And I'd like you all to bring your attention and put your hands together for Nathaniel Oliver Gray.
Woo! All right. Welcome, Nathaniel.
I like that he has 3 names.
Yes. That's very important.
Yes.
Makes you sound very important.
He is important.
Well, Nathaniel is, and he's a celebrity blogger and a personality in his own right. But we want to, we're all about the journey here on the set with Jasper Cole. So this is our first blogger I think we've had on, right?
Right. It is.
Officially.
It is.
Officially.
I mean, because, at the onset of the show, what we always wanted to do was have entertainment people from all aspects of the entertainment industry.
Behind the camera, in
So
front of
behind
the camera,
It wasn't
craft
just about,
services.
it wasn't just about actors. So
we need to get someone to-
Janitorial, anything.
yeah, so that we have a celebrity blogger, you would be our first. And that's what I want to start my first question to you is, when do you sleep? Because I read your column. You do 2 columns a day for frontiersla.com, and the information is so timely and all current. And I would like to know.
Croissant?
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
So, okay.
Thank
yeah.
you.
So is his mic okay?
I think so.
I
Okay,
think so.
good.
Are you okay? Speak in.
Okay, good.
Okay, I think maybe Tony might want to fix his mic.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
can't hear him.
'Cause I'm not hearing-
through
right,
here.
yeah.
I hear him next to me.
Oh, good.
Right.
But I see his image. Oh, good. That's
Yeah,
what.
Dara and Nathaniel are sitting right next to each
No,
other.
it's great. They both have 3 names. There's 6 names there. Nathaniel, Oliver
Well,
Gray,
you know.
Dara, Zane, Scully.
And I explained why I keep the Zane
Oh,
to
why?
Ralph.
Oh, yes,
Didn't
exactly.
I?
Yeah.
Didn't I? Yes, I did.
Yes, I
Oh,
think
am I still
Nathaniel,
here?
speak. There we go.
But I think.
Oh, there we go.
Yes,
That
there
makes a
you
big
are.
difference.
Now let's give him his applause.
But with 3 names being shared here, we should start them off though.
That
Totally.
would be good. And you could do
Totally.
those cheesy infomercials
Oh.
on Channel 5 and 9 and 13.
No,
and
but
11.
now,
ouch.
Nathaniel, now that Planet Earth can actually hear you clearly.
Too bad it hadn't happened to Ralph.
When,
Go ahead.
Oh,
Wow.
be nice.
I have a mute
It's
button.
early.
It's early.
he
Go
has
ahead.
a mute
It's
button,
early.
but Jasper will not be able to find it, so I'm not
Nathaniel's
even worried,
horrified
okay?
already. Give him a donut.
But
Give
No.
him some
Oh,
sugar.
I'm vibrating.
But
Oh, we'll sit on it.
who's
Oh,
calling?
okay.
But Nathaniel, when do you sleep? Because you get such a plethora of information every day.
What is sleep?
Thank you.
Okay, there. Okay, and there's the
That's what you
answer
do
to
right
this.
after sex. What sex? Was that your next question?
Okay.
Qu'est-ce que c'est sex? Oh, you mean with someone?
or without. I find it's easier without.
Have we
Is that
gone
it?
straight to X?
Huh? we cover all things entertainment. Yeah,
And-
Jenna
and it's a-
Jameson will be on
And
next.
it's a Sunday.
Speaking of X and porn, did you hear that the 3 people have been infected with HIV? So the whole porn industry is taking a little bit of a hit lately.
Oh wow! Well,
Yes.
once again,
Happy
happy
Rosh
holiday.
Hashanah.
Happy holidays.
Because we know a lot of Jewish women are in porn.
Right.
Not.
and not into oral sex either. So there you have it.
Okay.
And were they all Gentiles?
Yeah, I don't.
Probably. Are there any Jewish porn stars? Can somebody? That'll
Well,
be the
while you're
question.
trying to get
that's the
married.
question of the day.
Are there?
If
any
you're a Jewish porn star,
I
Please
please
call.
call
That is
in.
great.
Please call in.
I don't know the number. Do you know
Yeah,
the
I have
number,
the
Ralph?
Oh, but
Ralph fell over.
But you'll have to tell them it's toll free.
It's definitely toll free.
Toll-free,
If they're
exactly.
Jewish, okay. That was good. Thank you.
I'll be
Okay,
held with
Planet
potatoes.
Earth. If you're Jewish and you're a whore, call us at.
And you get paid for it.
Is that shiksa?
Call us at
Is that a
3
shiksa?
Shiksa,
Is that
yes,
shiksa?
is a non-Jew.
323 284
Oh, I'm scared.
7826.
Look what
Again,
you
calling
started.
all Jewish whores.
Yes,
323
Jewesses.
284 7826.
I hope this is
Oh
playing
my
in
God.
Nordstrom's right now.
I know.
'Cause we'll get a lot of people calling.
Hilarious.
or Bloomingdale's.
We're not stereotypical
I'm almost
here.
speechless.
Okay.
Almost.
Thank God your mouth's still working.
Okay.
That was for Kevin Scully.
Okay,
Okay.
Nathaniel, for fun, tell us something. Tell Planet Eartha. Share something with Planet Eartha that we might not know.
Care
yet.
about.
That you might not know. Not counting my 6th toe.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Okay.
He's
Ouch.
kidding.
I have it in a drawer. What is there? Let's see. We've got fall season coming up, and everybody's excited about that. It was just announced the other day that Candy Bergen and Charles Grodin is joining the Michael J. Fox show
Oh my
as his
God.
parents.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Very
Talk,
nice.
Well, Charles Grodin,
Talk
he hasn't
about
acted
talent.
in a long time, right?
He has though. He's done some episodes of Law and Order.
All
and
in
some
New
other
York,
things.
'cause he's in New York.
Yeah, yeah,
Do-
and he's sort of not as recognizable to people
Right.
who knew him in the '80s from
Right.
Heaven Can Wait and all of that.
Right.
But he's done. A
Do
few
you
things.
remember that talk show he had on Fox, or was it MSNBC? He had a talk show. What was,
Was it MSNBC?
What was that station? Roger Ailes had it at the time. but
Right, I don't remember
Judith
the name of it, but
Regan
I
had
do.
one on there, but I used to love
Judith
his.
Regan.
I used to love his talk show. It was like a
Yeah.
one-on. He would just like a Charlie Rose. He'd have
That's what I was thinking. Charlie was, yeah.
one-on-one. He sort of had left acting a little bit and got
Right.
into that, and then anyway, I love
His
Charles
voice
Grodin.
is amazing.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
you
he's
forget
good
what
with
a huge movie career he's had. You know,
Well, it's
based-
Yes.
like everything that came out in the '80s had him in it.
right.
You know, just
He and
everything
Anthony
that
Michael
turned around
Hall,
thing.
or Molly Ringwald. I just saw her on Oprah's
I don't know how
Where Are
his
They
brain
Now?
works.
Oprah.
He didn't even
Molly
have a
was on.
donut.
They were. Molly was on Oprah's Where Are They? Where Are They Now?
She's doing
show.
music.
Yeah, I guess she's always been singing jazz since she was
Okay.
little. Yeah.
Oh, she was a few months ago at Rockwell over in Los Feliz.
Oh, okay. I think she might live in Los
She was
Feliz.
working tables, but she was.
Of
at
course.
Rockwell. No,
Okay. She was.
no,
Host,
no, she was
she was
performing there.
hostessing.
She had a performance. She had a
Oh,
cabaret
nice.
act going on.
Did you watch it?
No, I was doing dishes in the back.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, I wasn't
Was
able
it
to go
good?
that night. I had
Oh.
an invitation to go, and I missed it because I went to. There was some award ceremony at the Beverly Hills Hotel for.
Oh,
Cloris
that's
Leachman.
tough. Poor you.
You missed it because Corey
Oh,
Feldman
my
was
husband
performing.
worked with Cloris Leachman. He loved her.
Oh
he
my
thought she was
God. Love her.
hilarious.
She really is. And this
Yes.
evening it was some aid service organization for people that needed help with medicine and housing and things like that. And I'm sorry that I don't remember their name, but Cloris didn't exactly know why she was there.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I'm not. That's not disparaging against Cloris. She was great, alert, and funny, but when she was given her award, I just don't really know why I'm getting this because no one from the organization said, okay, Cloris Leachman, who's dedicated her life and her money and has donated, they didn't give any qualifier.
Oh my
of
goodness!
it. And it was
Poor
like
planning.
so obviously, obviously,
how terrible.
Cloris is here to say everybody buy tickets, and she was a trooper with being up there and saying, I'm not sure what to do or say, so I'll just model my outfit.
That's
She did-
hilarious.
I just was watching. I recorded her episode on Hot in Cleveland.
Oh, my
Did you-
goodness.
Did you see it yet?
Yeah, and she did such a great job. She looks fabulous.
Well,
She
you know,
does.
they were. I don't. Katie Couric. I don't watch that show, but I TiVoed Katie because she interviewed. She had all of them. Valerie, the whole when they were doing Hot in Cleveland,
Oh,
she
okay.
did a whole 1 hour show on the set.
Oh,
of,
back in May, I think.
Yeah, it was. I actually cried a few times just to hear.
Oh.
Well, Valerie Harper.
You have a
was there.
heart?
Well, I don't. I don't really, but it was. You
was
forget.
pink eye.
Yeah, it was an infection.
Pink eye.
It was just amazing when you look
No,
at
it is
all those
amazing.
women in the room. And as much as Betty White gets all this attention for being so old and still working, I think in some ways Cloris is only like 2 or 3 years younger. She's not that much younger.
Oh,
than
yeah,
Betty.
you're right. She's just-
and in
She
many
has
ways,
just a different aura about her.
yeah. but
Betty's a little more sunny.
it was really Mary Tyler Moore that broke my heart because
Right.
she's basically blind. I think
Oh.
from her diabetes.
Okay.
And even on the episode when they showed her on the set of Hot in Cleveland, you could tell she had already been brought in and she was already seated.
Right.
You know, and that happened at the Emmys last year. I don't know if you remember. They went to a commercial. When they came back, she was already standing at the podium. So it was kind of sad. Not to bring the show down, but
No,
But
it's
the-
it's real life, this is what I love about Hollywood. That those were real talents,
Oh, yeah.
as opposed to, as you know,
And
the people
talents-
that are famous now for no talent.
Oh, like
which-
Miley
well,
Cyrus for
pre-reality
that kind of
shows.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, people,
yes.
a lot of young people don't realize Mary Tyler Moore and Grant Tinker. I mean, Mary, other than Lucy at the time, they were running MTM Productions. Basically, CBS Radford Studios, that was MTM. And so Mary was one of the pioneers of that as well. She was a smart lady.
Yes.
And so many of them who not only are pioneers for one show, but multitudes of shows.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, with the Dick Van
spin-offs.
Dyke show before MTM.
Right.
And Cloris Leachman had a spin-off called
Phyllis.
Phyllis. That
And
was
Betty White had
hysterical.
her
And then
show, the Betty
Rhoda,
White Show.
Rhoda was
Rhoda.
the big hit.
So they wasn't just and even Ed Asner
Yes,
went
Lou
on for Lou
Grant.
Grant and other things in the movie Up, the Pixar film
Right.
too.
Oh,
Ted,
yes.
so they
yes,
have-
I mean,
yes.
Ted Knight.
Went to Too Close for
Oh,
Comfort.
right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, because he kept Jim Bullock employed.
Jim
for a
J,
couple
we
years.
love it. He's a friend of the show. We
right.
love
He's a
Jim J.
plus.
And
Yeah.
and didn't we have who was the other blonde woman on the Hot in Cleveland? The ditzy one.
Georgia Engel?
Yeah.
Oh, my
right,
God, Georgia
right.
Engel. She is I didn't realize that's her voice. I mean, that is a voice.
I went through the same thing when I met her.
Yeah.
There was a what was it, pilot shot last year with Michael Chiklis, and she played the mother-in-law with Paul Dooley from 16 Candles.
16
uh-huh.
Candles.
Yeah, over at Warner's, and she was such a
That's her
dear.
voice.
Yeah.
Well, on this episode of Katie, she was really poignant because she was talking about a lot of times she was left out sometimes of like even the when Valerie Harper got married. I wrote it's like one of the highest rated episodes
Right.
ever, and they all were invited on, but they had not written anything for Georgia's character.
To
So she
evolve
went to
and
Jim Burrows and was like, "Can I maybe be in the show if it's anything?"
Is
And,
that the blonde lady?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she played
Okay.
Ted Knight's girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
but-
know her name.
Yeah, and you could just tell how that's her genuine personality, and all the other women like really kind of cradle her and love her, and
No.
yeah, it was great. And Valerie Harper talking about her brain cancer, or her cancer.
It's a different cancer, but then it went to the brain.
Oh, I guess so.
They
Oh,
were
is that what it
clarifying
is?
that the other day because the Dancing with the Stars people are wondering why she would.
Well, it's
do
I
that.
guess it's in remission and she's under treatment, but that's a grueling
It just
schedule.
seems such
It
a
is.
rigorous rehearsal.
It is.
Right.
Yes.
Well, it's something that I wrote last week that was in essence of hearing people say, "Why would you do that? Why would you do that?" And I sort of screamed in my article was, "Why
Why
not?
not?
Well,
Why
exactly.
the heck
Yeah.
not?"
Right.
That is true.
You know, if she's up to the exercise and she's in, I heard that her doctor said he's just steps away from saying that she's in remission. So
Right.
she's obviously doing well enough.
Right.
But why not? If the worst happened,
And she drops dead
went-
on stage.
She went out on a high,
Right.
doing what she loved to do, and that's what's so often when you deal with with
Right.
terminal illness issues, as I've experienced, is people are telling you what they think you should do,
Right.
and how
Right.
you should handle
Right.
your life with your
Right.
limited days.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think if you had a terminal illness, you wouldn't let anybody tell you how to. I mean, you would just
Now
that would
you can
just
really say, "Fuck
cement
you."
it,
Right.
pretty much.
Yeah, I
mean,
think so.
Now, what about Leah Remini? Because when they did the announcements
Wow.
of the Dancing with the Stars
Right.
participants, Leah was the only one that wasn't there. Apparently, she was in Los Angeles.
She was on satellite from L.A.
Okay, and I was just it was just interesting that she didn't say one word. The camera was just on her. She smiled. She demurely waved to the camera, and then that was that. And I was just expecting a little bit more. I was watching because I was eager to. I haven't seen Leah since The King of Queens.
Right.
So and then her
Talk.
show.
Right, the talk.
But I was disappointed that she wasn't there in person. I wanted to see what kind of sass she was going to have.
she's going to be on Ellen tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And I think Ellen said to her, "I think you got kicked out of Scientology." Not that she left.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Ellen said
she's-
that?
Ellen said that.
Certainly be a first.
She's
but
talking about
She
it.
was in studio because she was, I don't want to talk out of school, but she was just afraid of Scientology sharpshooters.
Probably. I agree.
But
Oh
you know,
yeah, it's crazy.
it's-
Well, I
it's-
had the room. I had heard through a publicist that they had asked Dancing with the Stars had asked her for 4 years in a row to do it, but Scientology didn't want her
Yeah.
to do it.
And when I say sharpshooters, I'm totally kidding.
You
but,
mean Tom Cruise?
the
We'll just make sure there's none
the
outside.
influence and impact of
Right.
that organization is frightening.
It's frightening.
Yeah.
It is. Well, I had some experience with her on King of Queens, and she was not a very nice lady.
Oh yeah.
Horrible lady, in fact. And what was interesting about Leah is she surrounded herself with only Scientologists on the set. Her nanny, her mom, her family, her sister.
She's friends with J Lo though, apparently.
That's interesting.
Yes.
And she's so great. She was so great on camera. And then
well,
the
maybe
moment.
that's why the talk let her go.
Well, yeah,
Didn't
but
they?
on King of Queens, she was a raving bitch. I mean, she was a nightmare. In fact, and I don't give a shit. At the
Well, we know that.
series finale party
For King of Queens?
Yeah, we were all at the big season finale party, and even the creator of the show, everyone was getting up and just slamming her, like
Wow.
what a nightmare she was. And we were standing there, and when Leah got up, she was actually very tearful, and she was like, I understand, I know, guys, sometimes I wasn't that easy to work with. And Patton Oswalt, the comedian, was standing next to me.
What'd he do?
He's like, cry, you fucking bitch. You made everybody cry for 9 fucking years. Cry, bitch.
God, that's just awful when you have somebody's. They're like a terrorist on the set.
And
Or
yet
in
they
your
were so
job,
good.
any
And
of it.
Kevin James, Kevin was so great. And Kevin was a producer on the show. So Kevin would go out to the audience. He would talk to the audience. Leah would literally
Why didn't
do
they
her
get
lines.
rid of her then?
Well, it was a hit, and she was very good on the show.
Okay.
She would do her lines and exit backstage. Even at the curtain call, she never acknowledged the audience. It was very much like this demure woman. And we were always so shocked because her personality to the public was so like New York and hip
Yeah.
and funny.
I'm down home and friendly.
Yeah,
Was
and
the
then
persona.
then you would see her. She was just not even to the
Wow.
guest stars. Stars set the tone on a show, especially for
Right.
the guest stars.
Right. Yeah.
Even at the table read, she would literally come in, sit down, look at her script, not acknowledge anybody in the room. It was very strange. So maybe
Do you
now
think maybe
that
she was afraid?
well, I don't know. I just
When
think
you're
now
surrounded
that
by that many people from one organization, when you're in the Nazi party,
Right.
you're not exactly going to arrest us. Hey, did you get a load of the leader's mustache?
I don't really understand how in 2013 an organization like that can even be in existence. It's
Because
just
there's
astonishing.
a lot of ignorant people who don't want to question authority and simply want to be told what to do and have the security of knowing they're taking care of me.
right.
And I'm
Well,
sorry
it's
to
no
do it.
different than a lot of these.
I don't have
zealot
children like that.
Religious Christian or cult kind of Christian the Phelps and all those people. They're sort of brainwashed. But Leah's been in there since she was like 7 or 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah, very young.
Well,
that's
and when
what I
you
read.
you leave everybody, which is, I'm sure.
Well, apparently
very
this,
tough.
the president, what's his name, Moshkonich or whoever the guy is
Oh.
that who I'm talking
I don't
about.
know the
David
name,
Savage
Well, the lead
of
guy.
Scientology.
Yeah, the one that's
where his wife
niece,
is missing.
Oh,
Well,
right.
Leah's friends with
It was
his
all part of the
wife, and
Leah
apparently
thing.
she had started questioning where is
right,
your
right.
wife?
But then they had an announcement that she's fine, and
yeah, but
But
no
I
one's
know.
But remember, the announcement wasn't so much from them as the LAPD.
right.
oh, you
got
think well they have
involved
LAPD
and
in their
said,
back
We've
pocket.
done checking, and there's no reason for us to check any further.
But she could be being held somewhere and just saying she's okay,
Right.
Because they have all these internment camps, we could talk forever about
Oh, I'm
Scientology.
sure.
Katie Holmes and the people who auditioned to be Tom Cruise's wife.
Oh, yes, we knew about that, though.
yeah.
Scarlett Johansson.
That's
and,
a whole other. That's a
yes.
whole other topic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But LAPD doesn't want to investigate things. I mean,
No.
lots of they don't say, oh, we don't have the time. So if someone calls in and say, I'm her and I'm fine, okay, we close that case. All
Right.
done.
Okay.
It
Done
can be
with
that
that.
easy,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I want to hear how Nathaniel started his blogging life.
Oi, long time ago in a valley far, far away. We had to walk 7 miles in the snow to go to a radio
Right.
station.
Okay.
But you're so young. How is
Uphill
that
and fight
possible?
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm 56.
You and Ralph are almost the same age.
I'm 55.
Oh, good.
And
your
I'm
older brother.
27.
Yeah.
Let's see,
Right.
San Francisco, 80s. Someone asked me to start writing entertainment for a magazine and did a couple magazines there. Fell into NGN, which was the first syndicated gay radio news service. So I started doing theatrical movie reviews, joined the Bay Area Critics Circle, became vice president, and things just sort of went from there where
Wow, you
people
were
saw my
really
stuff
lazy.
and,
What an underachiever.
it's just- yeah. Part of me felt like I
Hoping
was
you find
Asian,
some
so I had
passion
to
before you
mix-
get 60. Yeah.
Tiger Mom.
Wow.
But it's like people of my generation often had fathers who would say, when you graduate high school, you want to get a civil service job, you're set for life, and then
Right.
you're okay. And,
Right.
my father wasn't from Jersey, but that's what
Right.
it sounded like.
Right.
But people of that generation never seemed to understand the concept of having a passion in a career.
Right.
Right.
It was you need to, but, it's like you need to cover your kids
You
and
need
your
something
and
to
your
fall
wife
back
and-
on.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
And for me, it was always, why can't I have a passion in a career? And
Well, had you been, even as a kid, were you always interested in movies and television entertainment? Or
as a child of the 60s, lots of TV.
Yeah.
Not taken to movies as often.
Right.
Other than something we used to call a drive-in.
oh, hello. Of course. We know about, we would hide in the trunk to save money.
Oh, my
Allegedly.
gosh. We
Allegedly.
had a drive-in La Habra where I grew up, and somebody about 5 years ago said something, do you guys remember June night? And I was like,
What?
June night?
yes. And I
No.
said, yes, I'm not kidding. They called it June night.
Well,
And
Were
where some of
whores
them got
allowed?
in for free, but I just thought, wow. And
was it Jewish owned?
No.
Oh.
I don't know. That's a good question, but I remember
They
just
should have
writing her
Catholic night.
privately and said, you know what? That's really not cool.
And
Right.
They got in free. They got in cheaper.
I'm not.
free?
I don't
Did
even
they hide
know.
in the trunk?
It was just. It was. I was just really. I felt really, not to sound like a Jew, I felt really assaulted because I thought, really, this is
Right.
2008, and we're all.
Were they
you're on a
were they
social-
wandering
you're
from
on
drive-in to
social
drive-in?
media. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but
4
I'm pretty
years.
careful on social media. I just. I don't know.
They
Yeah.
wandered from drive-in to drive-in. trying to
Maybe that was it. It was pretty damn hot, so
Let
it was
me-
like
maybe-
the desert.
Right.
just need
And
to-
who was Moses?
We're giving him the benefit
Where
of the
was
doubt.
Moses in all that?
I'm just gonna need then.
You're gonna
I
need
just
to shut up,
I
but go
need,
ahead.
What are we doing?
The Jews that tried to get in for free at the theater, and for my Jewish whores to call 323 284
we're expanding the question.
7826. Okay.
Well, speaking of, before we forget, we have to thank our sponsors.
Oh,
of the show, 'cause
absolutely.
a lot of times we forget, Ralph, and they're
Okay.
ready to cut the lights off.
Okay,
so.
which sponsor would you like
Tyrone
to start with?
Artworks.
Yes, Dennis Tyrone
Imagine That
Artworks.
Productions.
Imagine that.
And
Look at
Wayman
that.
Productions.
Wayman
And
Productions.
everyone, check out the website on the set with JasperCole.com, Facebook on the set with Jasper Cole, and Twitter on the set W Jasper. And also, we have to make sure everyone knows where Nathaniel's blog can be found.
frontiersla.com
Right.
daily to see the latest updates on film and television that you're not getting in a lot of other places.
Right.
Okay, so we
check-
have
you're
to
like
ask him
this-
how he got from San Fran to L.A.
probably in a
but wait, I
car.
wanted to ask
Yes.
for June night at the drive-in. How was the rugula?
Yeah. If there was some rugula, maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. I never knew that went on, but I did get comments when I was growing up there, and whatever.
About being Jewish?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You don't look Jewish. You don't seem Jewish.
You know,
Right.
I don't know what any of that means.
Wait, but did you get the one of, I have a Jewish
His
friend in
friend.
Albany. Do you know him?
Right.
Right.
Right. Well, there is a little bit of Jewish geography.
Well, in my hometown of Athens, Georgia, we, to my knowledge, had one Jewish family, and they actually owned the theater.
Well, hello.
Because hello,
Right.
they're only
Right.
ones that had culture or any kind of
Well-
arts. Well, that's not true. Athens thinks that they were very cultured, but anyway,
It thinks.
yeah. They think, well, they had REM B-52s, so, and Kim Basinger.
Oh, well, she's
And now
beautiful.
Jasper Cole.
Right.
So there you have
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So are we going to talk quickly about Lamar Odom and Kardashian? Because I know Nathaniel loves reality.
I thought we were a Kardashian-free zone.
Well, but this is Lamar Odom. I'm such a basketball fan. So.
Right. Really?
Well, okay,
What's
Kardashians.
basketball?
I'm sorry, I have to tell Kardashians.
Okay.
I was going to a play at Greenway Court last night that had James Marsters from Buffy Vampire Slayer.
Yes.
And so I parked around the corner. I'm walking, and I passed a shop that says, it's a wig shop, human hair 50% off. And my first thought was, the Kardashians opened another business?
Was that right on Fairfax and Melrose?
Yeah.
That's where I
No,
walk by there every day.
that's where the Orthodox Jewish women get their wigs.
No, there's a new wig
Cancer's
shop
is
right
down.
there.
Oh, where did I start?
Yes,
swear.
I know. That's
no,
my
it's
hood.
fine.
That's
When
my
I saw it.
hood. I know it.
I used to live up there.
15 years ago, thanks. The wig shop just opened. Okay.
So I
Was
thought they had a new
15.
shop.
It did.
I didn't know.
It's next to the Verizon store. We'll talk later.
Okay.
What
Yes.
was
Dennis
mine?
wrote to me.
What did Dennis, one of our sponsors, what did he write?
What's he writing?
the check?
That donut.
Yeah, Jasper. This is our 2-year anniversary, and Jasper's gonna go out on a limb and have some carbs.
Oh God, Dennis,
Oh,
that
carbs
donut.
are my enemy. I
Dennis,
don't
that
know.
donut was damn good. Okay.
Thank you. By the way, we have cake.
Oh,
we
did
have
he
donuts.
watch you eat the donut?
He watched me eat the donut because we're on live now. And
Yes.
Live streaming. and
Don't
I
remind me.
I don't even care, Nathaniel. I
Don't
just
remind
do
me.
everything in front of this camera.
You don't
Dennis,
even care, do you?
My attempt to lose weight, rather than eating the donut, I just rub it in my thighs and save the digestive process.
Right.
Totally.
Well, in honor
Totally.
of our anniversary, I have a little song for us.
Oh,
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 I'm scared.
I'm not sure where it went.
is it our anniversary song?
Huh? Hold on.
Okay. Is that it? Work it out, Jasper. Oh,
Oh, I know this song. I like this song.
I
You
like
like
this
this?
song
Scream
too.
and shout?
Yes. Let's dance.
Oh.
Let's not.
Bring the action.
Ah.
You're back on the set with Hollywood's bad guy, Jasper Cole. Here's Jasper Cole.
Woohoo! All right. Howdy, 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 and welcome back to On the Set with Jasper Cole. This will be your host, Jasper Cole, coming to you live from the historical Sunset Gower Studios right here in Hollywood, California, coming to you on our 2nd-year anniversary of this hot mess train wreck of a show.
Yay.
They said it wouldn't
Somehow
last.
they didn't pull the plug. It could happen during the show, actually.
You never
This
know.
could be our 2nd year and our last.
It could be.
All in
Last
one.
show.
No,
Yeah.
don't say that.
Right?
Last
well,
show.
yeah, last show.
Yeah, this could
Best
be.
and last.
Yeah.
Best of show.
Best and
Best of show.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Together
listen,
again for the first time.
Ralph, I'm having
Reunited.
Anyway, we're back, and the voice, you, of course, who jumped right in, is my very special co-host, Mr. Ralph Cole Jr.
Hi, Planet Eartha. Thank you for coming back and joining us. What a treat. For
And
the last for the last 2
Go
years.
ahead.
Okay.
Okay, whatever.
For the last
Full
2
Get out the
years.
tissue.
Pull
we
focus.
have been having a lot of fun with you, sharing information, having all kinds of eclectic guests.
And we have
And
Entertainment
there's
Dish
more.
with Dara. Hi.
Oh, that was mean. That was mean. He's mean.
Oh, but you drove much further to get here.
Well, you know.
You came all the way from Orange
No,
County.
no, I
He's
share
still
it, and
going,
I
isn't
always
he?
defer to Dara.
He's still
She
talking.
is the best entertainment dish.
He
with
is still
Dara.
talking.
And I will never
Wow.
stop, Jasper. I
And
will
our
never
very special
stop.
guest co-host, Nathaniel Oliver Gray.
Yes.
We came barely a mile.
You barely walked a mile.
Yeah.
In the snow. In the humidity.
In the
humidity.
It's not,
In the
dry
it's not
heat
so humid
humidity.
today.
No, it's not.
been wonderful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lot
It's
less.
been wonderful.
And you guys,
And that
Planet
sexy
Eartha,
voice on the
that
left.
voice that you just heard
Yes.
is none other but 4-time Emmy Award winner,
Damn.
production
Could
designer,
sell those on eBay.
consultant, art director, Greg Richman.
Greg, hey,
Yeah.
woo!
All right.
You've really classed up the show now. You're an
That's my
Emmy winning.
job.
We
That's what I
better
do.
be on our best behavior now.
He's handsome.
Isn't he?
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, in Planet Earth, I just want to interject here. We are really Jasper's happy today because
As
I mean,
opposed to
as-
most shows.
as opposed to
it
most
does
shows.
depend on the day.
No,
he
because
must
we
have
have
got
booze
some
and
mailbox
cake, right?
money.
Right, he might.
Oh, thank you.
No, because
No, not the booze and cake for Jasper.
I don't know if we said this on the air earlier or not, but you know, Jasper's original intention for the show was to have all walks of the entertainment industry on the show, not just actors and
all
so-
white.
and not.
I guess That didn't quite work out. But go ahead.
Oh my God.
Okay. Everyone knows I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
But anyway,
the South will rise
so
again.
having Nathaniel Oliver Gray today and Greg Richman really is the embodiment of that because
Well, they are white. Oh, wow.
Caucasian and Jewish. We have our two Jewesses here today. Right?
Oh, again.
Wait, Nathaniel, are you
Well,
Jewish?
we are the chosen
No.
people.
You
Okay.
are
I'm
the chosen.
Jewish.
We
Yeah,
are
right.
the chosen people.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
there are two.
You know,
Lashana Tova, Greg.
Can we get back to
Same to you.
Greg?
well, you know, the theme today is every time you hear the word Jew, we need you to call
Oh,
in
my God.
323-284-7826.
You're one of the few non-Jews that can say Jew in my
Jewish.
presence.
Because he's black.
And okay, so
Right?
No, because he's
Sort of.
Ralph.
He
Is
doesn't
he
know.
black?
He
He's
doesn't
not
know.
black.
Yeah.
Well, wait. We have to say Ralph's mom's here, by the way. Rose.
Rose.
hello, Rose.
Thank
Rose
you.
is a good sport. She just tunes it all out. She
Yeah,
has
right.
earplugs.
Well, she's Ralph's mother. What do you think?
She's
She's used to
tune
it.
practice.
Yeah,
She's
she's
got
used
it.
to tuning
She's
it out.
learned.
She
Yeah.
refused to be on camera, and that's fine. I will
I
totally.
do too.
Well, you didn't have a choice, right?
Right.
Can we get back
But
to our guest?
I will
Okay.
totally be there for
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
We're now going to segue effortlessly to Greg Richman. Greg, welcome.
Welcome
Oh, it's
again.
so great
This is
to be
our
here.
second
Thank you.
attempt to say welcome here. So yeah, what Ralph was, I think, trying to say was, and I mentioned to this to Greg earlier, is when we started the show, I wanted to have people from all walks of the entertainment industry behind the scenes, in front of the camera. But it just seems in the last 2 years we've kind of had more people in front of the camera. We've had some directors, and I'm still trying to get craft service and janitorial, but that may happen.
Absolutely.
We've had producers, casting
Can you
directors.
imagine the stories?
Oh, I know
Craft
some
serv-
great people. Craft service are the people. You want to know anything about?
Right.
Absolutely.
Anyone.
I want
Well,
them in
well,
here.
and hair
craft
and makeup.
services
Pronto.
and hair and makeup. We had Edward Jimenez, and he does hair and makeup, and that's another very vital department.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Hello.
you, Ralph.
Yes.
To get
Thanks.
information from.
Yes.
Thanks for bringing us up to date on that.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, but anyway, so thank you. I've wanted to have someone of your caliber here as well. So,
you.
For
and
Emmys.
actually,
I'm impressed.
Greg and I are actually new neighbors in Palm Springs as well.
correct.
Yeah,
I've heard all about Greg.
You have, yeah,
Yes.
in a
All
good
good,
way.
I hope.
And
Right.
oh yes.
All
yeah.
good.
Well,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be in his life if it wasn't
No,
good.
totally. We heard
Unless
great
it
things.
helped
We're
the
too
show.
old.
Okay, let's just start with a question. Production design.
Yes, production design is basically it is the whole look of the show. In the old days, not so much now because you've got a costume designer and set designers and set decorators. The production designer really covers all of that. It's the person that covers that whole all the look, anything visual in the show.
I see. And who do you confer with, the director, or are you in direct contact with the director?
I'm in direct contact with the director and the writers and the creators of the show and producers and the whole
So when
gamut.
you start the first episode, when you start the pilot, you've had numerous meetings of what the look is going to be, and then is it episode by episode where things get fine?
Correct. When it's funny because when I start a pilot and start a show, I'll get a script sent to me, and what I'll do is I'll break it down, and then I start doing little sketches for myself. And what I do is I like to build a little model so I can really see how it's going to look in 3D. Because there's a lot of times when you build the model and you see it and it doesn't work.
It's not the same.
It's not going to work.
Right.
So how did you learn to build the models?
By getting cut with an X-Acto
Don't
knife.
By trial and
Trial
error.
and
Yeah,
error.
yeah. The old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way.
Wow, so that's interesting. So let's say we're starting a comedy called Look Who's Here.
Starring Ralph Cole Jr.
Starring Ralph Cole Jr. and so now you're meeting with the
Make
producers.
sure you blog about it.
You're probably meeting with the producers and the executive producers maybe before the director to talk about. Is that true? To see
Yes,
what
it
the,
is.
To get the job.
Actually, for these half-hour shows that I've been doing, you always meet. You don't meet with the director until
That
when
that
he's
episode.
ready to come in. and
Yeah,
ready
the
to-
director really had nothing.
But
to
you
say,
get
so-
hired by the showrunners,
Correct.
basically,
I'll be
right?
hired by the
Yeah.
showrunners, and what I'll do is, like I said, I'll read the script, and I'll have a meeting with them, and they'll tell me what it should look like or what they are seeing. They want it to look like, and some Victorian horror house.
Okay.
Or horror
Jews.
house.
Horror.
Horror.
Not a
Horror
Jewish
house.
horror
No.
house.
Oh wow.
Something
it.
like that, and then I'll say, well, no, it really should look like a 20th century ice cream parlor.
Right.
And I'm just saying because I'll throw in my interpretation, and then I go back, and then I come back to them, and it's back and forth, and I'm showing them things that I do and have done, and they'll say, "Great," or "Could you move the stairway over there?" Or that really doesn't
gotcha.
work. That kind of thing.
So, for example, Greg, when you're first reading the script and you said you started jotting notes and making some sketches, something might ring to you like, okay, I want all the vases always to be green in this apartment. That might just be a theme for the character in the show. Is that something that sometimes will just come to you?
Yeah, absolutely. We really could. What I do was at that point I'll talk to the decorator and say, I really see this. I want this whole thing in black and white, and I see that part of the whole visual deal, the whole concept. And I'll work with the decorator, and he or she will start bringing in black and white furniture, black and white accessories, and we'll go from there.
So it's very collaborative.
Oh, definitely.
And do you find that working on, say, like an award show is the same process?
No.
That's a totally different. We're
deal.
talking about scripted
I'm just
half
talking-
hour.
Yeah, scripted half hours.
Yeah,
Same
because
forms.
it's totally different when you get
Absolutely. That award show is a whole
monster.
different. It's a whole different thing.
Right.
And especially the Oscars, that's a whole different deal.
Which you have won your
great. Tell
Emmys
it-
for.
Did you win your
Yes.
4 Emmys for all Oscar shows?
Correct.
Oh,
Which
wow,
years?
impressive.
But who's
So that's
counting,
the
really?
only-
Do you
which-
have them displayed in your home?
I do.
I've seen them.
Absolutely.
Right.
They're on a shelf, and they're kind
Right.
of near the front window, so I know kind of walking by. If they kind of
That's where they should
peer
be.
in, they can
That's
take a
where they
look.
should
I'd
be.
have mine on my car.
One of Kevin's friends,
On
he got
or
an
in?
Emmy, and he never had it displayed
Wherever
anywhere.
they
They
could be
found
seen.
it when they were going through his
On
things.
the hood ornament.
Yeah.
What?
yeah.
Really?
What, he passed away?
He did.
Oh.
Who did?
Mitch Fair, one of Kevin's friends.
Oh.
He worked in production, and he never, and his guy friends said, why did you,
Oh God.
when they
please.
knew him, he didn't have it. And they said, they would have it up front for when the girls come. Like,
All right.
"Hey."
Oh, yeah.
Look at Miami.
Well, for listeners and viewers, though, what shows would they know your work from as far as non-award shows?
Well, like I said, I've done a lot of half hours. It's funny because the half hours that I've done have not been wildly successul. I've done, wildly successful is like Frasier, Murphy Brown, Friends, things like that. Mine have been, I haven't had big runs like that. 4 years is about.
Suddenly
4
Susan.
years.
Suddenly Susan,
there you
Which
go.
I love.
was one which was a great show to
Right.
work on. It was a lot of fun. And right now I'm working on shows for the Disney Channel.
Shake.
And Shake It Up was one that we just ended.
Didn't we have somebody in here from Shake It
We
Up?
had was it a black actress? The young girl?
No, it was a little blonde girl.
Oh.
Oh goodness,
I'm
I have
blanking
to remember
out
her
too.
We
name.
had- we had
Shauna
a-
Case.
Shauna
Shauna
Case.
Oh,
Case.
is she from Shake It Up?
Oh,
Do you know her?
I sounds.
Okay.
I wasn't here. I was
Shauna
in
Case,
Mexico.
It's
she
for
was-
teenagers.
She was our rising talent, one of our rising
Yeah,
talent.
but it was 4 teenagers. Is it a 14?
No.
Okay, wrong
Okay,
show.
wrong
Well,
show.
wait a
It's
minute.
two girls.
Shake It Up, isn't that the new Michael J. Fox show?
Oh my God!
No,
wow.
that's called
I
the
thought I
Michael
was
J.
bad.
Fox
Oh,
show.
okay.
Ooh, thank you.
Let's just let Greg talk.
But no, so suddenly Susan,
Suddenly
that
Susan,
ran what
I got 4 years.
You're
4
right.
years out of that one.
You got to work
Sister-
with Kathy Griffin and
Sister-
Kathy Griffin
sister-
before she became Kathy
Barbara
Griffin.
Barry,
Barbara Barry, Brooke Shields,
Brooke Shield, yeah, Judd
wait.
Nelson.
Judd Nelson.
Was it a happy set? It was a good set.
You know what? It was a really happy set. It was a wonderful set until one of our actors passed away.
Oh, that's right. The young David.
Oh,
the-
that's right.
Strickland. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
I
really
like
sad.
that.
That's
That,
right.
that was a very sad time. Yeah, the
Yes.
show after that was
It
never the
really
same.
never
That's-
really recovered.
Oh
from
God, that was
which
terrible.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
It was bad.
but that was where Kathy really blew up. I
Yes.
mean,
that's when she became Kathy Griffin.
right. That's when
Yeah.
she really took off.
Yeah.
You also worked on a show called The Mommies.
Yes, I did.
You know,
Oh,
I
that
don't.
was cute.
They were so
Is that
popular.
recently?
I don't know whatever happened.
Then
to
they
them.
think they had I don't know if that was their second, but they had
4 or 5
another
years
one. They
ago.
had 2 or 3 installments of that show. They had a talk show actually.
They did have a talk show.
That's
yeah.
what it was.
And I think they were. I think they kind of were big doing dishwashing liquid commercials. And
yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that.
And then they kind of the new Lassie.
Oh God.
Wow.
they've been embarrassing.
Whoa.
I'm gonna pull them.
Like
I'm
that.
really gonna pull back.
The new
really
Lassie.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna reach
is
back.
the new Lassie on now? No.
Oh my God.
No, this was
in
back in-
1990.
yeah.
1989.
Oh.
Exactly.
When he
Oh,
was
and he
10.
worked-
When he was
Sherry
10.
Shepherd was on Suddenly Susan, wasn't she?
Yes, she
for a
was.
little bit?
She was on our
she
second
was.
incarnation.
Oh, okay. Was that after David's passing?
Correct.
And do you ever work with the actors?
Um,
Do you
Not
have
if he
any-
can
know-
help it.
It's funny because the first designer that I ever worked with, I was his assistant, Ed Stevenson, who has since passed, who was just the best. He was like the king of sitcoms.
Right.
And he always used to say, don't fraternize with the talent.
Thank you.
Don't let them know what you do.
That's good.
Never let them know what you do. So it's funny because a lot of people, a lot of other designers, a lot of people always try and become very friendly with cast. And I just still to this day, and that's like 30 years ago.
Right.
I just really try and.
I think that's smart.
See, and the
Stick
thing
to your job.
and this is where we would actually conflict, because when I'm on a set, I always talk to everyone and ask what you do and what department you're in. When I've worked on half hours before, just not. I'm only there for a week or maybe a few days, but it's like.
And that's usually
it's a
when we
little
get
It's
the.
different because you're the
That's
actor.
different.
That's
one of
usually
the
when we
actors.
get the call that Ralph's being replaced.
They have a restraining
Where
order
they
against
say,
Ralph.
Yeah.
Ralph, stop fraternizing with the cast.
You know how when you're a
with
kid
the
and they
crew.
send home a note that Ralph likes to talk a lot in class?
No, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Fucking Miss Quinn at Emerson Junior High School. I remember that in the 9th grade. And she wrote it on my friend David Field's progress report, Rose. Oh, David is doing really well. He'd do a lot better if Ralph didn't talk to him so much.
Thank
What a
you.
fucking bitch.
Right.
To just throw me under the bus like that. So I talked a little bit. But
So
I
where
wouldn't-
is she
what's wrong
now?
with that?
Dead. She's dead.
Where
I
is she
had that
now?
same thing with William. One of his, yes. If he was fine, that's my son, one of my sons. He was fine to talk to people. He still could keep the grades up, but he would almost sabotage his friends. And I said, dude, you can't do that.
Right.
You just can't do that.
Wait and do that when you're an adult.
Wow.
That'll
God.
come in handy
But he's
later.
got the tacky.
Wait until wait
practice.
until
Right.
he's in an
He's-
audition
yeah.
waiting room.
Wonder where
He's
he
really
learned-
got-
Well, he does
Right,
want to
that's
become
it.
an actor.
We're going to talk to him about
Careful.
that.
Yes.
We'll take care of that.
Yes.
But
Anyway,
Anyway.
it's just interesting. I like hearing all this behind the scenes.
I'm more.
stuff.
I'm
Did
really.
he know Bruce? Didn't
Bruce.
Bruce do set design or the other guy?
Oh,
did?
Steve Kohler.
Steve Kohler.
Steve only worked for Gary Marshall.
Okay.
Steve was actually a prop master.
Steve
That
worked
was
for who?
all the Gary Marshall show. Happy Days,
interesting.
Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, I was
He
on-
stayed
I
at
didn't
Paramount
remember
for like 30 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm fascinated by the award shows and like how did you started first with the Emmys? Was that your first?
No, my first variety show was the 58th Oscars.
Wow.
I just jumped right in. I was working with my mentor Roy Christopher, and that was just the two of us, and we did the whole thing, and it was a gigantic show. And now the art departments on those shows are like 5 or 6 people.
Right.
And
Was that Gil Cates back then, or is that
no,
before?
it wasn't Gil. It was Marty
was it?
Pacetta,
Oh wow.
who was really.
Did you work with Gil later on?
Yes, I
Yeah.
worked with Gil. Yeah.
Who passed away?
Who was great.
Who was
Gil
like-
Cates.
yeah.
Gil Cates was wonderful and the ultimate schmoozer.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
he's
He
so
knew how to
good.
work
Gil-
it.
Oh, he really knew how to
Well,
work
Gil
it.
and I would get along great, Greg.
Well,
Greg's not quite so friendly, but I like Gil.
we've had Bruce Valanche on the show. He wrote for
Bruce was a writer
He was a
on
writer
a
on
number of them,
A number of
yeah.
them, yeah. Who were some of the first one you did? Who was the host? Do you remember? God, we'd have to pull that back.
It must have been Bill. No, I don't know.
Billy
I think it might
Crystal?
have been before. Oh, it was before Billy. It was.
Uh,
It was 3 hosts: Robin Williams, Alan Alda, and Jane Fonda.
Oh my
wow.
God! Wow!
What a combo.
Wow! And that's people don't understand like how much work goes into that production. I mean, they
It's-
start a year
we actually
a year
no,
before the
that-
next year, right?
No. We start. Normally, we start like end of October, November.
Okay.
And then they start building at the end of December, January, and then it's up and running like at the end of February.
Was that in
That's it.
Kodak? Where was it? Which theater?
Dorothy Chandler.
Chandler. Oh.
Well, last year I was on a plane with Debbie Allen. Debbie Allen was sitting next to us, and she was directing the Oscars that year. She had all of her designs and her stage designs and her notes, and she was, going over everything. That was fascinating to talk to her about. About she was like freaked out, like saying there's never enough time, and they change it. They change everything, and yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I was looking at an interview. Oh, yeah, that's better. I just wanted your face to be seen a little more.
Oh, I've been.
There
yeah,
he
that's
is.
better.
Yes,
yeah,
there
that's
he is.
good, Greg, because we want to be able to see you too. Yeah, because
Let's just also
like-
say, who does Greg look? What actor does Greg look like?
I have to think about it.
When this actor was not bloated, drunk, drug
Jim
addicted.
J. Bullock.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
no.
Did not say that.
A little.
Ryan O'Neal.
Oh,
I used
the
to
good-looking Ryan O'Neill days.
When I was a kid, my cousin used to say Doug McClure.
Oh, Doug McClure, yes.
yes.
Oh, that one all the time.
Yeah.
That's and as soon as you say it, it's like, oh yeah, you do, yeah. Now,
Ryan O'Neal for me.
well,
And you're Tatum. Sort of. I
when you were approaching the award shows, for example, with Roy, so there were just 2 of you as opposed to 5 or 6.
On the first 2 that I worked on, it was the 2 of us.
So, how did the design concept come about? What was the initial dialogue?
Well, it's funny how those shows work because I think without fail, everyone goes in there. Well, it's the glory of Hollywood, the
Right,
silver
the
screen,
glamour of showbiz.
the glamour of Hollywood. That's like always like the initial thing when you go in there, and then it turns into being like a movie theaters or whatever.
Right.
You know, it becomes all sorts of different things. And with Roy, he would go in there with bunch of little sketches. You know, really, I know on radio, but I'm going to use my.
Well, you're on
You're
camera
on camera
too. Yeah.
also.
About like little sketches like this big, and all on a sheet of paper. And then we would go through them, and I would say, well, gee, you use those circles a lot, so that must be the thing you like. So why don't we pursue that? You know, that kind of a thing.
Wow.
Oh, I see. And then that's when we might, with the final product, might
Correct.
be like a circular kind
Or
of
just
theme
it all came from that.
right.
little
I see.
sketch.
And the floor might be circular or something.
Something.
Or the cubes that they stand on might be circular rather than cubical.
Or the last one we did was the last one I did with Roy was he saw a marquee in Fresno on a movie theater, and he took everything came from that. It was from that
Wow.
marquee and then the old movie theaters and that whole thing.
And during the actual show, where are you? Are you behind stage,
Well,
or you get to watch it?
I am.
I mean,
I'm backstage or I'm back. I never can get in the green room usually. Backstage when they do the winners walk, they all walk out and they're all like clamoring with their awards, and I'm there, which is fun. Or else I'm in the audience, which is great. Or I'm what's a lot of fun is you can be on the stage behind some of the scenery and the curtains open, and when during a commercial break you kind of walk out there and look
See
and see
everybody.
who's in the audience.
Oh,
and
wow.
Who have you seen that you just fell over inside
it's
for?
funny because there are certain people that when they walk in you go, oh my God, that's a movie star.
That's a star.
And the person that had the biggest impact on me, I mean, other than like Elizabeth Taylor, who had a great impact on me.
Oh,
Just like Elizabeth Taylor and Paul Newman, you see all those people. But
Right.
currently,
Right.
the one currently is Kate Blanchett.
wow.
Wow.
She was the one. She walked in, and it's like, oh my God.
I had the
really-
same feeling when I saw Nicole Kidman for
Really?
the first time.
You saw her at the Polo Lounge,
Yeah,
right?
but it's interesting. I know what you mean. It's like, wow, there's a presence.
There's a presence. There's
a
just
presence.
something
Yeah.
there, you know. Can't tell what it is, but there's something.
Leia
Can't
says
tell
that
what it
about
is.
Angelina Jolie.
Well, I'm sure she has it too. Yeah.
Any stories of mishaps, mechanical issues?
Oh, yeah,
and things?
absolutely.
I
I
can
was
imagine.
waiting for that.
Yes,
Right.
this now.
Did anybody fall
leave
through
it
the
to me.
stage or
Not
anything?
quite. There was. I mean, I can. There's a whole list. We had a neon piano once that Tony Bennett was supposed to sing some song, and the night before, it was in backstage in the dark. Of course, someone walked in, broke all the neon on the piano.
What the heck?
The night before.
Broke the what?
all the neon,
neon.
on the
Neon
piano.
Wow.
So then you call the neon company. Hello, we need some more neon, and they just work all night and get it finished.
Wow.
But my favorite was on the I think it was the 75th, and we actually had the offices here on this lot for that. We had this giant orb, a 7,000-pound orb that was over the first three rows of the audience. This silver leaf thing, and it said Oscars, and it went around like the old Universal.
Right.
The thing in the
Thing,
beginning
yeah.
of the movies.
And over the audience, though.
The first three rows. So
I
God
wouldn't
forbid.
want to sit
if
there,
Right.
right?
I wouldn't.
Right.
Between you and
I
me,
hope they had
I wouldn't go
Faye
over there.
Dunaway seated there, just
Oh,
in case.
No,
Bye-bye.
all of Hollywood was seated there. So God forbid something happened, that would be the end. Anyway, so there were two motors, and this thing was spinning around, and when one of the motors failed, the other one would kick in. So right before the show, might have been like 30 seconds before the show, the Oscars is going on, and it just stops. And oh my God, what happened? Did someone kick out the plug? I mean, that's what we're
Right, literally.
So we literally run upstairs into the grid, and we're trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
And the house electrician goes in there, and his cell phone falls out of his thing. So it's like Steve Martin is doing his monologue. I don't know if you remember this.
I think I do, actually.
He's doing the monologue, and this cell phone it's like right.
I
Just
remember.
Comes right behind
Yes.
his,
And
right
fell.
behind him.
I do.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the best one.
Everyone like.
Did Steve notice?
Oh
Did
yeah,
he
he made
respond?
there was some comment.
He made a
Oh,
joke
okay.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
He's great.
I saw him down in Orange County playing the
Ukulele or something.
Oh, banjo?
Now before, listen, before.
It didn't fall on
if it would have fallen on him, that would have been
a
a job ender, a show ender. That
right.
would have been
A life ender.
A life
But
ender.
I want to quickly get over to when you actually won your first Emmy and what that was like. First you getting nominated is amazing.
Getting nominated is great.
You've been nominated.
I've had
many
11
times.
nominations.
Is it
Right.
true getting nominated is all that
11
matters?
nominations. You and Susan Lucci.
You know
I
what?
think the answer is no.
Well, you know what? It really, what it is, you get nominated and you get like 6 weeks of attention.
Right.
And that's really get you.
And you
know,
like that?
Yeah. I like
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you milk that. You work that.
You
yeah.
really work it.
Yeah. But then winning.
Winning is really
Winning is winning.
is really great.
Yeah.
It's the last one I won. I mean,
Well, here we
can't
go.
even talk about
You'll have a lot more.
The last one was, we didn't really think that it was. I mean, the person that I worked with, we thought it was good, but we just didn't really think it was that
that was
good.
award winning.
It was good. You know, everyone thought it was good, but we just thought, well, no, we'll never win. And it turned out we tied with another show. But when they called our names, we were like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding. Then, of course, you just pull yourself together
Right.
and go up there and
Now,
thank you very
Nice.
much.
because
Right.
now they do so many of the technical awards on a separate night, but they used to do them all together.
I think they used to do. They would pick one,
Right.
one of the technical awards
Categories.
one of the categories, and do it on the.
But that's a fun night anyway, even the technical award.
The thing with the technical awards is that it's one of those endless.
It goes on forever.
Oh my God, it's endless. It's God bless them. I mean, there's like for some shows there's like 20 sound people,
Right.
or 30 camera operators, and then
Right.
they go through, and for nominated for a blankety blank we've got, and then they read the
Read
20
them.
names, and then there's like, it's just one of those things that ends up being a
Tedious.
long night.
I think this even on the Oscars, I always feel bad, for so many of these other categories on the Oscars, where people are just, wanting to hear supporting actress, and it's like, do we have to hear? I feel bad all the
But
time.
they all
Well,
matter.
you want to hear, and
Of
it's
course.
it's their moment,
Of
and
course.
it's their time,
Especially when they're foreign and they don't speak English and they
No.
get up there. That's when everyone's in the bathroom having their break.
having their
But,
smoke.
Yeah. Well, Greg, the time flies. I can't
That's
believe
it?
this.
Oh, is it
Yeah, I
done?
know. Well, it goes because we have our next guest coming in, Ralph.
Right. Okay. Well, we're gonna
You're going to come back sometime and
So you have to invite- you have
come
to
back and
invite me.
co-host.
Okay.
That would be great.
When you win your next Emmy, come back.
When you win
How
your
about
next
that?
Emmy.
So now, what are
And
you?
bring them.
No pressure.
Bring them for us
No
to caress.
pressure.
and
Are
let
you
Maya
going-
take
But not
photos with.
until
Right.
then. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
Are you going back to Shake It Up or
Well, Shake It Up actually is finished.
finished? Okay.
But I'm working on another one called Austin and Alley.
Oh, all right. I know that
right,
one.
that's
Yeah.
That's
It's
been around
funny,
for a while.
these
That's
shows usually they do 3 years
Right.
because the kids grow up
They grow
so
up.
fast.
And then they're in rehab before you know.
Well, then
The
there's
Austin
that
Alley
too.
used to be at we were at Sunset Bronson for our first year.
That's
they were
we
there.
at Sunset Bronson. yeah.
Carol Goldwasser was casting that.
She's doing Austin and Alley.
Oh,
Carol.
okay. Yeah.
Oh my God, what's Miley Cyrus really like?
I can't tell you. I never worked on that show.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
No,
Greg,
Greg,
thank you
you
so
were a
much.
real treat.
You're fantastic.
I could ask you so many more questions. It was really
All right.
fun.
Are you
Thank
on
for
Twitter or
organizing.
Facebook, or do you care? Do you-
Facebook.
yeah.
I'm on
People
Facebook.
find you
Greg
on
Richman.
Facebook. Greg
On
Facebook.
Greg Richman.
Facebook.
And thank you so much. Come back anytime.
pleasure.
This is the very sophisticated and award-winning Greg Richman. Give it up.
Thank
for Greg.
you.
We
Planet
are
Eartha, we don't play here.
no. Well, we do play.
We
it,
have
actually.
all the fierce guests.
Right.
Guesses up in here.
Well, we're going to take our next break, and when we come back, we're going to have our second guest, Mr. Michael Chanslor. joining
Excellent.
us. So you're listening to On the Set with Jasper Cole, and we will be right back.
Come back, Planet Eartha.
You're back on the set with Hollywood's bad guy, Jasper Cole. Here's Jasper Cole.
Woohoo! All right. Howdy, howdy, howdy. And here we go in our second hour on the Set with Jasper Cole. That would be me, your host, Jasper Cole, coming to you live from Sunset Gower Studio. I always want to say Sunset Bronson, but that
We
was
used to
before.
be there.
Yeah, this is our second year anniversary of the show, so we are now
Happy
at Sunset
anniversary.
Gower Studios, and this has been a great show, Ralph. It's just jam-packed,
It's
isn't it?
jam-packed, and it goes like wildfire. We're having so much fun with Dara, as always, our entertainment dish with Dara.
Yes. Beauty and the Beast here.
And
Dara.
our special guest co-host, Mr. Nathaniel Oliver Gray, celebrity blogger. Work it out.
And Rose Cole.
And my mommy, Rose Cole.
The
Rose,
queen.
our mascot. And then also,
And now we are about to introduce our next special
Oh, there go the
guest.
sirens.
oh, the sirens are coming. Hide. Someone
Coming to
hide.
get us.
Yes.
They
Ralph, what are you
followed me.
doing?
wanted
I need
Michael
this
on.
to continue the show.
No, because I wanted Michael on.
Tony's
Special
doing it.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay. Well, listen, we're
You're
back
on.
with our second guest is, well, this guy's so multi-talented. I don't know where to start. He is a singer, a musician, a songwriter, an actor, an editor. I'm sure there's something I'm leaving out. Mr. Michael Chanslor.
Yes.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, everybody.
Now, I know you've done a lot of radio, I'm sure, in your music career.
A lot of different things.
Right? Yes. Well, also we are very honored because Michael also edits this show for us and
Yay.
does our YouTube channel. And poor Michael, I'm always
That's all
emailing
right.
him with all kinds of stuff, and he's amazing. So
I'm glad
anyway,
to be busy.
welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jasper.
And well, you do so many things, but I know music is really I think is your passion, right?
Music is
of
my
it-
passion. It's what I started with, and I'm lucky to still be able to do it all
Yeah,
the time.
and you work
It's
all the
great.
time.
I do.
With your band.
I have 2 bands that I lead.
Oh, 2. There we go.
And I have about 14 other bands that I sit in with,
Wow.
play part-time with various situations.
And you have your website, michaelchancellor.com.
I
But
do.
it's CHANSLOR.
That's right.
.com.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's spelled a little differently.
If I had a nickel for every time I've had to spell that,
I bet you,
I'd
right?
be retired by now.
So everything's on your website. They can find out what's
Sure,
happening with,
yeah.
with all the music.
I
and-
also have a video editing website that's specifically tailored for the video work I do. It's the name of my company is Viral Video, and the website is viralvid.us.
got that.
Viralvid.us.
And we're going to post that on our website as
Thank
well.
you.
We'll put all that up
I
there.
appreciate it.
So, yeah, we always talk about the journey. You know, that's our big thing here, and
Mm-hmm.
how someone starts in this crazy business. And for you, where did you grow up?
I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, and Evansville, Indiana.
All right.
In the Midwest.
Good old Midwestern
means
boy.
he's nice.
He's a good boy, good kid.
Well, that means I show up on time and stay until the job's done.
Right.
That's what people
That's
have told
right.
me. It's
You had a
the
good
mid-
work
the
ethic.
mid-
Ethic?
Yes.
I
Whatever.
really, something's happened. I don't know
I
what's
think you might be
happened.
having a stroke.
I think so. It's,
I
it's
think
actually a senior moment.
I think
That's-
what you were trying to say is a good work ethnic, and if you're a
Ethic.
Jew,
Jew.
or a whore or a Jewish
Speaking
whore,
of,
please call
please
him
call.
This is so
323
scary.
Call between clients.
I'm getting offended.
Do you realize we've had no
262-6.
calls? And I can't believe there's
Where
not
is
some
this-
slutty Jews
Where is
out
this
there
going?
listening.
Where is this?
This
No.
is,
Get into
unfortunately,
here.
unfortunately,
Michael missed it all.
you walked into it.
Well, when he
But
edits
when
it,
you
yeah.
listen back to the
There you
show,
go.
you can edit it out if you'd like.
Well, actually, I must confess that I did hear a little bit of it in the green room.
Oh,
and,
okay, yeah.
I also must confess I have never won an Emmy.
Oh, not yet.
Neither
That's a
have we.
tough act to
Not
follow.
yet.
I gotta
Neither have
tell
we.
you.
4 Emmys.
4 Emmys. Come
Right.
on.
11
You know what I mean?
nominations. Wow. That's great.
Except for that, how's it going?
Yeah. Other than, okay. Well, thanks, Michael.
Fill
Good to
in
see
it.
you. We'll be right back.
Bye, guys.
No. So growing up in St. Louis,
St. Louis,
but music was something that you were.
I was blessed with a musical ear. I was a lucky guy. I could
Right.
hear music. I could hear a song once and sing it or play it back or write it
Wow.
down. And I thought everyone could do that. When I found out they couldn't, it kind of led to, hey, maybe I can do this.
Right.
And so
At what age did you realize it?
when I was about 6.
Oh my
Wow.
God! Wow.
God, what is it about our human brains, Michael, that enabled you? Like, what makes you be able to hear la da da ba ma da ma and then go? Yeah.
I don't know.
And then, but
Don't you
be
think you're
able
born
to
with it?
execute it.
Are
on the-
either of your parents musical?
somewhat played instruments, but not as much as I did.
Yeah.
I have the ability. You can play a note on an instrument, and I can tell you what note it is instantly. Whatever note, or I can hear a chord, or a rhythm, whatever that is. I could play for you what Ralph just sang here,
Oh my God! This is a first.
if I can get this. to
So
come
Ralph
over.
just sang something.
Yeah.
I knew he would boomerang it to Ralph. Ralph would make sure he got his. It's all about Ralph.
Wow. So
Derek,
my God,
feel free to sing.
I'm like a jingle writer now.
You are. Put
This
that
is
on there.
just not mine.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you just hearing
Lame.
that.
I can. Everything sounds like a song to me. The people's voices sound like a song.
Does that mean then when people are mean, you just think they're nice because it sounds like a song?
No,
It can be a
It sounds
dark
like a mean
song.
song.
It can be a mean
Dark
song.
Yeah, right.
A mean song.
exactly.
Yes.
I hope you die.
Well, actually, Ralph is a singer.
I know.
I
He's
sing.
a great singer.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're a great singer.
Thank,
Well,
you've
he's
heard?
he's
Oh, on
okay.
the show. Oh, that's right, on the show. Duh.
Let's not, yeah.
Thank
Let's
you.
keep it in check.
I take it back.
Ralph is a good singer.
No, Ralph, you're
He's
What are you
very
working
good.
on now, Michael?
I'm working on a bunch of stuff. I've been, I don't know if you remember, there's a singer-actress named Susan Anton.
Absolutely.
Who
Oh,
was
yes,
Miss California in 1970 and runner-up.
I think I saw her at the
For-
Hollywood Bowl
I bet Michael was with her.
for
She's-
Hairspray.
Oh.
She's done
She did
just about
Hairspray.
everything. She did
Last
Hairspray
year
at the Hollywood Bowl.
with Corbin Blue
That's
and that
exactly
whole,
right.
Yes.
She
Oh,
did
that's right.
Hairspray.
Yeah.
She's done it at other locations. She's been on Broadway twice. She was in Best Little Whorehouse in Texas
Oh, we
and
know her.
Hurley Burley.
Yeah.
And
Dated,
I've
dated
been
Dudley Moore.
Dated Dudley Moore for a long time.
Right.
They made friends after they broke up. I've been her musical director for 31 years.
31
Okay.
years.
Wow.
So that's kind of like I got to move to Los Angeles because I had a job in advance with a Rat Pack wannabe guy named Buddy Greco.
Okay.
Who was a
Ooh.
big
Yeah,
star of his
yeah.
age. And I was his musical director and segued into the Susan Anton gig. And
How did I'm
Still
curious?
doing
Like,
it.
how did that happen? You met her through him,
no, I met her through a friend of mine who I'd known back in St. Louis, and who had come out here and got a job with her playing guitar. And he told Susan, "I know this guy you need to work with." And so
And
that's
you,
how that
you
happened.
just clicked immediately with her.
Yeah. And,
Obviously, 30 years.
well, we have a gig coming up September the 29th, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
It's a fundraiser. There's a gentleman named Walter Painter. I don't know if you're familiar with Walter. He's an Emmy-winning choreographer and
Okay.
director. And he has the Nancy Painter Home for Mothers and Children that he subsidizes and does a fundraiser for each year. So we're playing at the fundraiser on Sunday, September
What's the
29th.
home for?
It's for mothers and daughters who have no homes.
Okay.
They live for 2 years and they're enrolled in school and they're given a basis to really establish themselves,
Right.
establish a life.
Where's
a
the
real
fundraiser
life.
at?
It's going to be at a private home in Toluca Lake.
Okay.
Right.
by
So if any of the
invitation
Jewish
only.
whores are listening and they would like to
There you
attend
go.
or donate some money to that, that would be an
Yes.
interesting
You
thing.
can
right?
find it online, Nancy Painter Home for Mothers and Daughters. is
That's
what it's called.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, like
Excellent.
for instance, when you're saying she's gonna perform that night, how do you come up? Is that a
We get together and she has a list of tune suggestions and I have a list of suggestions and we work it out. And this is just going to be piano and Susan's vocal and my vocal. Which keeps it nice and easy and
Right.
simple. And we'll put a show together. Everything she does is a show.
And since you've been working so long together, I guess you guys sort of have unspoken rhythm, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
But you've also been lucky because I grew up. I think you also remember all the great variety shows in the '70s.
Oh,
you
Hollywood
got to work.
Palace
I mean, Susan was on all those, right?
Yes.
And you were. I saw some stuff on YouTube. Or you sent me a clip.
there's
yeah.
a clip on the MDA telethon from Caesar's Palace with Jerry Lewis where
Jerry-
he comes out on stage
right.
and does some shtick with us. And
Right.
I've met Jerry several times backstage at the Desert Inn. We worked with Bob Hope, George Burns.
Did
Don-
USO tours? Also?
No, these were all either one-off performances where a lot of corporate stuff. Well, they're bringing some celebrities
Right.
and you'll have two
Frank
or three acts.
Sinatra?
I did not work with Frank. Susan met him and actually has some of his musical charts that he allows her to use or allowed her to use. Not Frank Sinatra. No.
Right.
Didn't Susan do like a Bob Hope special or two? Or
She
something?
did a bunch of those. As a matter of fact, I played and conducted the orchestra at Bob Hope's 80th birthday
Oh my
at
God.
Radio
Wow.
City Music
Music
Hall.
Hall.
wow.
And
that's
he was
fabulous.
backstage, and I thought, you're not supposed to get an autograph from a fellow performer, but
Right.
it's Bob Hope's 80th.
Right.
Dorothy
Come on.
Lamour was there. It was unbelievable. So I went up and I said, Mr. Hope, can you sign my program? And he goes, sure, I'll be glad to sign your program. So, what's your name? Right? He goes, hey, you want my son? Here's my son's here, too. And he goes, this is Henny Hope. Well, it was Henny Youngman, who wasn't on the bill. He was standing there to hang out with
Wow.
Hope. So I've got Bob Hope and Henny Youngman on the program.
Wow.
Great.
Oh my God.
Then we did a charity event in 1984 or 85. Anheuser-Busch made so much money that they put on an event at the Shrine Auditorium with every celebrity in town. And it was Bob Hope, George Burns, Johnny Carson, Susan Anton, Dudley Moore, Natalie Cole. You name it. I was in the men's room with McLean Stevenson.
Oh wow.
If you remember who that
Oh,
was.
of
And
course.
and-
Mash.
Yes, we
Mash.
remember
and,
McLean.
he couldn't talk.
Oh.
What is
wow,
this?
wow, wow. Wow, wow.
Was he
Well,
drunk?
Don't want to tell. Well, he was.
Well,
he
I mean,
wasn't speaking clearly.
Coming up through, I mean, Dylan, and you saw a lot in the '80s.
Yeah.
You know, in
Oh, yeah.
terms of
Dylan?
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin went to see Bob Dylan recently. Is that who you're talking about?
Well, no, I was saying just
Oh.
being in the '80s,
Oh.
the decadence in
Yes,
some ways,
yes.
or even
Yes.
the '70s. You know,
Well,
that
More
lights-
the 80s.
Yeah.
My favorite moments are the funny stories of people when they're out of character.
Right.
I don't know if you remember George Burns. But
Of course.
yes.
He's still
Oh,
on
of
every night
course.
on MeTV.
Well,
And
please.
we worked with him a bunch of times. And he was just the nicest guy in the world, the funniest guy in the world. We performed at Radio City Music Hall with him on the same bill with George Burns and the Beach Boys in America. The same bill performed at Erie Crown Theater in Chicago. And he used our guitar player, drummer, and bass player for his show and used me as the conductor for his show, which was great. So
he was nice off camera.
he was nice off camera. He comes up before the rehearsal, and his rehearsals, he go, every little breeze, if the whisper Louise, next song. That's it. Next song, next song, next song. He had his own piano player. I didn't get to play piano, but I got to conduct. And he goes, I want to meet the band. I want to meet the band. He's got his cigar in his mouth and a beautiful girl on his arm. And our drummer was a wiry guy. He goes, Mr. Burns, my name is Scott. I'm going to be your drummer. I'll be your drummer. And he goes, you're the drummer? How old are you? Scott goes, in October, I'll be 32. Burns goes, when I was 32, I had gonorrhea.
Hilarious.
So did Ralph. That's interesting.
Who didn't?
Right. Thank you, Dara.
Not me.
No. Penicillin.
I'm not a Jewish whore.
Thank you. Just,
But if you are,
In my
call
next
in to
life.
323.
Wow. That's you've just
Now,
had.
see, you were talking. You're a hard act to follow. You were talking about an Emmy winner 4 times. We all have our fun things. I mean,
Well, thank you,
George.
Ralph.
George Burns, Bob Hope. These are classic, great stories. Did you ever work with George Gobel by any chance?
I love George Goebel, and I didn't get a chance to work with him. But I loved his hair, the crew.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Right.
I remember he was on Hollywood Squares.
Yes.
The bottom
Sure.
left corner.
Have you seen the scene on YouTube of him on The Tonight Show when Bob Hope and Dean Martin are there?
Oh.
Goebel comes out and he's talking, and he's got a cup. He's got a coffee cup, and every time he looks away, Dean Martin goes, taps his cigarette ash into Goebel's cup. And Goebel turns back and drinks it.
Oh,
there's
my
cigarette
God.
ash. It's the funniest thing you've
That's
ever
what's
seen.
great about
It's
YouTube
hilarious.
now. You can find anything.
Anything's
But
on there, yeah.
not only Susan Anton, but you've worked with many people.
What
There's a
about somebody
lot.
current that we would?
Britney
somebody
Spears.
current.
I'm
What's
kidding.
Miley Cyrus really like?
Stop.
Miley Cyrus.
Is she considered a musician? Come on.
She's a performer.
Thank
That's all
you.
I know. I've never
Ish.
met Miley. I was lucky to do a lot of touring and a lot of things a decade or two ago.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky to keep working. But
But Susan's really been
Susan has
your
been a mainstay.
mainstay.
And
Jasper and I worked with Frida Payne. Have you ever gotten to work
Do you know
with
Frida?
I don't, but
Band of
there's been some
Gold?
of course,
Yeah.
since you've been gone. All
Yeah,
I've left is
yeah.
a Band of Gold. Yeah.
Does Susan tour with acts around the country at clubs and stuff?
We used to tour a lot. We did 5 Tonight shows. We did 40 cruises where we were the celebrity act, and so we would just come on for a week and do 2 shows.
Is that fun? The cruises?
It's fantastic, especially
People
when you're
must be so nice.
when you're the top level entertainer. 'Cause
Right.
I
They
could
roll it out for you, right?
roll it out.
Yeah.
I could go anywhere the crew could go, anywhere the passengers can go. Everything was
Nice.
free. All the
Right.
side excursions were free.
What are the best cruise lines?
Royal.
The ones
I did
where you
Royal
keep your
Caribbean.
food
Royal
down.
Caribbean.
Royal
99%
Caribbean.
was Royal
Yeah.
Caribbean.
Okay.
But Susan did a lot of TV.
A lot of TV.
In the-
She was.
Didn't she have pilots?
Fred Silverman thought she was going to be the next Farrah Fawcett.
Right.
And she actually had 3 TV shows of her own in 1979 and 1980. A variety show, a mystery show, and another combination. I think it was a show that was on an anthology series where it was
Right.
on every other week.
And she did a lot of guest stars.
Didn't
and
quite work
Love
out.
Boat.
Guest
She did
stars,
Love
big
Boat.
time Love Boat.
I loved her on the Love Boat.
She was on Merv Griffin more than any other guest star.
Oh,
I
Merv
did the last
Griffin.
2 of those with her.
Did she do
actually.
Mike Douglas?
We
Do you
did
remember?
Mike Douglas.
Loved
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Love
Mike
those
Douglas
shows.
was
Those are
great.
the shows I grew up in the
Ooh,
afternoon.
what about Joey Bishop? Did you,
No, didn't
That was
do
probably
Joy, but
before
that
her.
was that was a little,
Little
earlier.
before.
Okay.
We did the Pat Sajak show. We
Right.
did the Joan Rivers show. We
Yes.
did Into the Night with Rick Dees and Into the Night with Brad Garrett.
How
Like I
about
said,
Magic
Tonight Show
Johnson's
5 times.
short-lived
No,
show?
I would have loved to do that. Although I met Magic Johnson when we were on the Tonight Show.
Okay.
Nicest guy in the world. And I don't know if you've ever met any sports stars. They shake your hand like this. Shake my hand. Nice to meet you.
It's
Oh,
very.
is it limp?
It's completely limp because
'cause they don't wanna
they
hurt
don't
you.
They don't
want
wanna
they
hurt-
don't want
yeah.
someone to go,
They're
oh, I'm
careful.
strong.
Right.
I met Dizzy Gillespie when I was in London
Wow.
with Buddy Greco. We went to Ronnie Scott's after one of our shows, and there's Dizzy Gillespie. And I go, Dizzy, I'm Buddy's musical director. He goes, tell Buddy I said hi. And he shakes my hand, and I'm like,
Limp
that's your
wrist,
favorite?
like a noodle.
It's Dizzy Gillespie.
It's
But,
like,
but
yay.
they don't want someone to go like that and mess them up.
Hurt
you know?
them. Yeah.
And then the Ronnie Scott's was packed. It's the most famous jazz club in the world. It's in London. We'd taken a cab down because we were playing at the Talk of the Town with Buddy Greco at the time. My drummer friend and I went to Ronnie Scott's. It's on the break. There's Dizzy. I ran up and talked to him. Tell Buddy I said hi. I got to go on. He goes up. Place is packed to the walls. He goes, ladies and gentlemen, I don't often do this, but tonight I'm going to acknowledge a celebrity. We've got a celebrity here in the club. He didn't want me to mention his name, but please give it up for the former heavyweight champion of the world, Mr. Joe Frazier.
Wow.
And the place goes crazy. And Dizzy's like, oh, excuse me, lady.
No. Wow.
My God.
Wow.
It was a joke.
That was a joke. Comedy's hard.
Comedy is hard.
Especially in Britain.
Crickets.
Well, they loved it.
Touche.
there.
Wow, that was
Touche.
good, Nathaniel.
That was.
You earned your check in the mail.
With
Don't
the plus
cash it.
extra zeros.
Right. So,
Did you like working in London?
London was great. London
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Gerald
Every
lived in
day I
London.
went somewhere. I kept a diary. I went to Leeds Castle. I went to the Charing Cross, Buckingham Palace,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Well, you've been able to, I guess, travel the world, right? With
Pretty much.
With your,
What's your favorite place besides here?
Gosh, I don't. Favorite place, Santorini.
Oh, wow.
Santorini is
Not been,
unbelievable.
but-
Where's that?
I think I've
It's
heard
a
that
Greek
before.
island,
Mediterranean?
volcanic
Oh,
island.
okay.
I think I've
and
heard that before.
Yeah, the volcanic crater is there, and you walk down, and then you donkey up. Donkey up, they say.
Wow.
You get on the back of a donkey, and they kind of.
Wow.
It is believed to be the original site of Atlantis prior
Yes.
to
Oh,
the
okay.
volcanic explosion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
fantastic.
Thank you, Nathaniel.
Thank you
By
for that.
far my
I was just
favorite.
reading National Geographic since you're 12.
Right.
I did
good,
that
though.
too.
Did you?
But how? Let's talk about your editing talent. Now, how did that happen?
Well,
was that always happening?
No. Well, in my mind, it
I mean-
probably was always happening. 'Cause I'm
Right.
one of those people. But I got a computer way early. I got an Apple II computer when they first came out because I wanted to interface with my musical instruments. And
Right.
at that time, memory modules were small, didn't hold a lot of data. So you'd have to load something into your synthesizer with a floppy disk or whatever and then load it out and load something else in. And then they came up with this interface to connect a computer to it. So everything could reside on your computer and you could pull data in and out from your synthesizer. And I thought this was great. Then right after that software came out where you could edit music, you could record
Right.
it into your computer, which was the beginning of digital audio, which everything is now, as
Right.
well as video.
Right.
And so you could see the waveform on your computer screen, and you could take out a verse and close it up, and no one knew that it was ever there. So when digital video editing came along, it was the same thing, except there's also a picture to go with the sound.
And
And
but
it
you,
just
I
natural
mean, again, you had
transition.
a talent for this because that's not something
Yeah.
people just
It's just
pick.
amazing to know at 6 to
Right.
be able to copy the. I mean, it's just
It's just
astonishing.
I was always moving things around in my head.
Did you do a lot of musical courses at school? Anything that you could take?
I took actually in school I didn't take any music at all except for the regular school courses.
Okay.
And I took piano lessons when I was young and hated them. The teacher would play. I wouldn't practice, and the teacher the next week I go, "Hey, play this for me once," and she'd play it. Then I'd play it back by ear. But I didn't really want to learn the classics or classical stuff. I wanted to be Jerry Lee Lewis or Fats Domino.
Right.
Or what I heard on the radio.
On the
So
radio.
I started playing every song I heard on the radio myself and learning all the solos. And I had to go back and teach myself how to read music and write music when I came to Hollywood and
Right.
started working with the celebrities and television shows, productions, other
Right.
musicians.
But did you have to battle teachers who felt you had to learn the classics before you could branch out into anything else?
Sort of not as bad as like the famous story of Brian Wilson, who when he was in high school took a music class and you had to write a song, and he wrote a song and called it Surfin', and she gave him an F.
Oh,
3 months later, it was number
it
one.
was number one.
Really,
for the
that's
Beach
a great
Boys.
So much
But-
for her.
But my teachers, the music classes I had in school were like, let's sing "This Land Is Your Land, This Land Is My
It's one of
Land."
Murray's favorites.
Yeah.
It was that stuff, which I was always turning around and studying ahead and getting yelled at for that. And when it got to where the music, I think the last thing I learned was on Hungarian Dance Number 5 on the piano. And it was complex enough that I couldn't get the whole thing by ear when I was 12 or 11. So I just kind of said, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
When I stopped taking lessons, I started playing constantly. And I've been in bands, basically every band I've been in.
What's your favorite instrument?
My favorite instrument? Well, I'm keyboard oriented,
Okay.
but I play a little bit of everything because I can hear how it's done. If you give me a box, I can go.
Do you have music playing at your house all the time?
No, because I have music playing in my head all the time.
Right.
Okay.
So I can really anything I've heard, I can remember. So I pull up what I want to hear and do it that way.
Do you have a favorite genre?
Genre. Well, depends on my mood. I really like all styles. To me, it's either good or not.
So you've saved like on an iPod because your brain is an iPod.
I put things on iPod or iPad, a music device, when I need to show songs to someone else or demonstrate them to it. If I've written an arrangement, I want someone to hear how it's supposed to go. But I do it all in my head pretty much.
Can
Yeah.
you just put your ear up to my face and you'll get it.
Oh, it'd be like listening to a seashell.
How How did you meet Michael?
Huh?
How did you meet Michael?
I met Michael through the editing
The
for
editing, yeah.
acting demo reels.
Yeah.
When he was actually at a
At an
place,
office, a post-production
before-
facility.
Yeah.
Did you work at Edit Plus?
Edit
I did.
Plus.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the
My
long.
son still
did you always
does.
have the long hair?
I started growing it when I was there,
Okay, me too.
which
so,
was
but
that's
Oh,
been
God.
9-10 years.
Okay.
Probably.
Who did
yeah.
I work with there?
David maybe.
Oh, David
Mansler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his-
Your son.
Dave
Your,
Manship.
your.
My son is there.
Oh, I
he's
didn't
got
know
long
that.
hair too, like me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's got his degree in biochemistry from UCLA, and he's a bass player and singer and
Which makes sense.
video editor.
Right.
There's a connection.
Excellent.
Go figure.
But he had something to fall back on. Yeah.
right.
You know, he thought I'm going to get something really smart to fall back on.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know how that's working
Well,
out.
these
but
days, though, you know,
Yeah,
no
it's
one
a
can get a job anyway. So
different world. It
wow.
is.
So what's your next upcoming gig? Because you always have something
Well,
going on.
let's see. What have I got coming up? I'm lucky enough to have a regular old. I do a gig at the second and fourth Friday of every month at Valencia Wine Company in Valencia, and it's just a wonderful wine bar with best selection of wines I've ever seen, and great people come in, and we play whatever we want and jam, and artists come in,
and, yeah.
sit in with us, and it kind of gets you out there and keeps you going.
How
Yeah.
far is Valencia from here?
It's
it's
about
where Magic Mountain is.
like
Oh,
Santa Clarita.
Wait,
that-
is that
north,
where
that's
we
right.
went for Chris Pierce? Is
Yeah,
that where?
uh,
he was at a brewery.
well, yeah, but it's the same area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do
There's
you
a
happen
lot
to
of
know
places
Chris
that-
Pierce by any
Chris
chance?
Pierce
You-
sounds familiar.
He's a songwriter and musician.
Oh, yeah.
But when you just said wine, because we went to a brewery and where he played.
Oh.
But I
That
don't
was
think it was
Oxnard,
Valencia.
wasn't it?
Oh, it was
Was that
Oxnard.
Oxnard?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's a lot of
There's
breweries,
a lot of
brew companies,
right.
wine companies, etc.
Now you would think that the police would hang out near those places because when people
They do.
they
sometimes
do.
they do.
Probably.
I see.
Yeah. But you can call a cab or be a designated driver. No one has to drink and drive, right?
That's
yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky to be able
look,
to.
you get a message here too. No
Oh,
drinking and
Reverend
driving.
Cole,
That's
always
right.
helping
Call the phone
because you're a
number.
healer.
I'm a natural born healer. Well, Michael, the time flies, you know.
we're done already?
Well, I can't.
God.
You guys make
It
it
was
feel
just
like it's
5
my
o'clock.
fault. It's Tony's fault.
you're the boss.
It goes by really fast because
It does,
you
doesn't
were
it?
here a half an hour early, and then when Greg was here, it's like, oh God, it's
Then we have
5
another
already?
Greg coming.
We're
in.
going to have to do a 3-hour show.
This is
in
really
order to
fun.
Get
Can
we just take
everybody
Because
in.
there's such a chock full of information, and it just makes you want to just listen. You're very articulate and just right.
And that
So-
skin is unbelievable. What do you use on your skin?
This
Miriam?
is what you call a nightclub tan.
Yeah.
This
I
is
never
what-
go out
this
in
is
the
what
sun.
years of
Seriously.
rock
Years
and
of being
rolling does.
inside.
Right.
Wow.
because I don't tan. I turn red like a lobster.
Right, right,
so I
right.
don't go out.
Theatrical lighting.
If I go out, if I go out,
Spotlights.
it's sunscreen to the max.
Well,
and a
you're
hat and
smart.
everything.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
I'll
being
die.
fair skin and
Yeah, it's-
light
can't
eyes, you have
take
to
it.
be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But being Indian, I can just fry and be leather.
Does that mean you get a discount?
for discount where? Discount. I need to
On
get a
your
casino.
college?
I need a casino while we're at it.
All
well,
right.
Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Everyone,
Jasper.
check out
Yeah.
michaelchancellor.com.
Thank
You're welcome, Michael.
CHANSLOR. And
Daniel, thank you, pal.
Oh,
Thank
for
you,
coming.
Rose.
And check out
nice
his,
to meet you.
Check out his
Thank
website
you,
for the
Michael.
fundraiser.
yes,
That's
for
right.
the fundraiser
We'll put that
also.
up.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in LA that day.
That'd
I'm
be
going to see
great.
Carmen
Oh, wow.
in that day. And
Yeah,
but
tell her I said hi.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
There's her culture. She
Not
does,
really.
She does opera and the
Well,
whole thing.
not really.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Listen, guys, you're listening to On the Set with Jasper Cole. And when we come back in our last little stretch, we're going to be joined by actor-director Mr. Gregory Blair, who's a returning guest. And it's going to be great.
He wants to
good.
come back. Wow.
Well, that's a good sign.
miracle.
I wasn't here when he came the first time,
Oh,
so he
that's
probably
why.
is coming to
This'll
see.
be it.
He's probably
This is
coming.
That
that.
was the show we did with that when he was in
Right,
Mexico.
when he was in Mexico.
Right, yeah.
You really held the fort down.
You
Thank
did,
you, Dara.
right?
Yes.
Thank you. That was fun.
And you've never done it again. So anyway, you're listening to On the Set with Jasper Cole. Come right back.
Stay tuned, Planet Eartha.
Bye-bye.
You're back on the set with Hollywood's bad guy, Jasper Cole. Here's Jasper Cole.
Woohoo! All right. Howdy, howdy, howdy. And welcome back to On the Set with Jasper Cole. This would be your host, Jasper Cole, coming to you live from Sunset Gower
He hasn't
Studios.
even had any sugar.
Not yet. No caffeine, no coffee either. I
Why
can't believe
not?
it. Well, I didn't bring it with me.
You
but
didn't
that's
drink
okay.
coffee today.
No.
That's why you're just doing water. Well, you do water too.
I'm all natural.
Yeah,
you know how that
you
is.
are. You really
It's
are.
just crack.
It's just crystal meth. That's all it
Did you
is.
get it from Lamar?
Oh, Oh, Lamar Odom. Well,
You brought him up earlier.
I know, and no one seemed to care.
He had a Breaking Bad cocktail.
Wow, there's so many voices going off in here.
So many
is this in my
voices.
head, or
It
is
is
this
your
for
head.
real?
We're not
well, we
here.
are back in our final stretch, and we actually saved the. No offense to the other guests, but they're
You
not.
say that to
they're not
whoever's
here.
here.
They're not here, so
The
we've
current
saved the
favorite.
best for last, right, Ralph?
always.
This is we have a returning guest, but
I can't
for
believe
me,
he's back.
it's a first time guest because I wasn't here when
That's
he.
why he's back.
And
you
I
look great on camera.
thank you. Oh,
I meant
you were,
Greg.
you were thinking of someone else. Okay, but we're talking about our returning guest, actor, director. Well, he does a lot, but acting and director Gregory Blair. Hey, buddy.
Yes.
Weird Wendell.
Yes, we're going to get all into talking about Love That Girl because Gregory's been very busy. You're always very busy.
Well, when I can be.
And Greg Richman's not the only award-winning guest that we've had because Gregory here won an award recently.
Yes. The entrepreneur
Since
on
he was
the
here last?
Yes.
Yes. Entrepreneur on
Tell
the move.
us. Tell us. He's laughing.
He forgot.
No,
He's
no,
laughing.
It's just I have the Weird Wendell in my head.
Right.
Yeah, it's the EOTM award, and it was for Deadly Revisions, which is my film that
With Bill Oberst
is
Jr.
with Bill Oberst Jr.
Another
yes,
guest on the show.
which I think we had discussed the last time I was
Yes,
here.
you
but,
did.
You know, when you were in Mexico.
Right, thank you.
And so yeah, that was very exciting and unexpected, and
But
What
that
does the
was
award
great.
look like?
it's really kind of cool. It's like this giant transparent block.
Is it heavy?
For its size,
Is
it's
it
heavy.
sellable?
It's is it sellable?
Is it on eBay?
It probably could be, but it's not going to be.
Is it featured prominently in your home?
It is at the moment on the mantle. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice.
Excellent.
When
I
did
mean,
this
where
become
else
What's
do you
My
put the-
Line?
Is it bigger than a bread
Who,
basket?
Ralph?
I know.
Ralph.
I want to be
know.
Kitty Carlisle.
I'm Peggy Cass then.
I'm Arlene Francis over here.
I don't even know who any of them.
We've just
I thought
aged
we
ourselves.
totally
We
fucking
have
dated
dated
ourselves.
Thank you.
And I don't
that's
even know what you're
it.
talking about.
What's my line? You're full of shit.
Oh, and what was the other
What's
one?
my
Dorothy Kilgar.
To tell the truth.
Truth.
Oh,
that was
that-
to tell the truth.
What was her name?
Kitty Carlisle?
No,
Dorothy
Kilgar.
Kilgare?
Yes. God, we
Kill
have-
Didn't
Gallon.
Kitty
Wow.
Carlisle?
Kill Gallon.
Kilgallen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh
Who
my
had a
God.
sister that was also a gossip columnist.
I
But anyway,
totally-
see, Gregory, we digress. Thanks,
all your
Thanks,
Digress.
Ralph. We.
ADD's kicked in. It's the last.
I was trying to
It's
stay on
probably-
track,
it's
but Ralph
probably
took
me.
us off in a different direction.
Well, I like to go off on different tangents.
I do all the
And,
time,
you know.
so I get it. I mean, I was following all of you totally.
Thank you.
Until
That's
a few
what's
names came out. I
that's
was
kinda-
like, who?
That's what's scary, right?
Google that quickly. When
But
you
let's.
get home.
So, how is Deadly Revisions? What's happening with Deadly
It's-
Revisions?
It is every development. It just keeps making me more and more excited for
Good.
it. I have
Good.
my composer is amazing.
Good.
And has brought such an element that it just gives me goosebumps.
Wow.
When he sends me to do the different clips and whatnot.
Just adds so
And
much to the film.
Yeah. And so now it's in sound, and then it is going to be unleashed.
All right,
Yeah.
watch out.
Isn't it funny to have won as best director before the film is even unleashed? So you can
Totally.
kind of tell the planet, fuck you, if you don't like it.
Oh.
Because I've won an award. And if there are any Jews out there that are listening to that, please call in at 323
Jewish whores
Oh,
who have
my
won
goodness.
awards now.
284-7826. Thank you.
And so far, we've got no calls once
Yeah,
again.
we'll
Why-
take off the sheet with a
Wow.
hole in it and make a phone call.
Okay.
Oh, ouch. They're not
Yes.
listening.
We are referencing
To
some
my
jokes
fans
I've
and
missed.
family in Georgia,
Yeah.
in Athens, Georgia. Thank you.
We've had a wild time this afternoon. It's so now that
always-
I
Have a
think about-
donut. Have you had a donut?
He
yet?
didn't- he
Or
said
a
absolutely-
cake?
he said
They're
absolutely
pushing
not.
donuts on me.
It's our
They're
second
like
year
evil-
anniversary.
You know what I think?
Right?
This is hard on these guests that come in towards the end
Congratulations.
because they're bombarded with all our silliness from before. It's like, what is going on here? We've been here for
I don't-
90 minutes before, just being so crazy.
Which
eating
is
nothing but
what
dessert.
you do here, which
Thank
is one of
you.
the things that makes the show so great, which is
Thank
why
you.
I came back.
Well,
Thank
right, and
you.
gave us a nice little shout out on your Facebook page. I was telling Jasper about coming to the Hilarious on the Set with Jasper Cole.
Thank you.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot
Because
to
we
live up
do
to.
have a fun time here.
Yes, you do.
And speaking of crazy, let's talk about Weird Wendell.
Okay, so that
Because, yes, that's a great show. Love that
it's
girl.
a great show, and the story behind that is fantastic. Actually, props to my manager, Royalty Rope, got me the audition, and it was actually for an uptight writer. So how typecast
What a
is
stretch,
that?
right?
What a stretch, exactly. Thanks a lot.
Is he
So
saying he's
anyway,
uptight?
what do you mean?
No, he's not.
Oh.
So, but you know, it's kind of the thing that I play often is, you know, the nerdy kind of dorky, geeky,
but who kills
and-
people usually
or,
afterwards.
or yes, or the thank you very much, the psychotic
Right.
off.
There's
yeah,
a snap.
that guy.
They snap eventually, and Weird Wendell
So-
may snap too. So.
Well, that's exactly the funny thing. So I went in for this writer seat role, and I had looked online at the sides, and they also had listed all these other sides, which included Weird Wendell, which I had seen. I thought,
You went
oh
in
wait,
to be a writer
oh so
for
wait,
the show?
it wasn't Weird Wendell. You went in for a different
there
part.
was another part.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, and so. You know, I looked on this for those sides, but I like to do my research, so I
Right.
looked at all the other roles too, because it gives you a good flavor of the show. And I saw this other role, and I thought, wow, that's really kind of me too, because that character is funny, dorky, strange, and also crazy and creepy and kind of scary.
Right.
So I thought, what a nice combination. I thought, okay, well, I'm going in for what I'm going in for, and I'm going to do that, which I did. And Casey and
Props
Leah,
to Casey DeVoe and Leah Jones Butlers, who friends of the show and friends of my clients, and yes, we love
such
them.
lovely women.
And they did The
so-
Butler that's out right now.
Yeah.
It's Lee Daniels'
They
sister.
cast the butler?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing cast.
So,
I saw.
so I went in and made him laugh, and then Leah sort of pauses and looks at me and says, "Would you mind reading another role?" And I'm like, what actor doesn't want to hear that?
And you knew
know?
what was
Yes, I
coming.
will play the 80-year-old Mexican grandmother,
Right.
whatever you want me to read for,
Right.
you know. And sure enough, yeah, she'd like you to. She gives me the sides, read that, and come back in the room. And yes, they were the Weird Wendell sides, which I had already looked at. I
Right,
thought,
of
this is
course.
perfect. I went in, I did it, and they laughed some more. There was a stage direction, in fact. Wait, I'll save that story.
Oh,
Long story short, I got the Weird Wendell role. They got another guy to do the writer who was also hilarious. And so it was all lovely and great. And that's kind of how it happened. So I'll now backtrack.
and this is supposed to be one episode, right? Or
yes,
at that
well,
time.
Yes, although the Weird Wendell actually had more scenes than the writer guy. So
Right.
that was kind of a cool thing.
Yes.
But so in the audition, there's sort of this moment where there's a stage direction, which you can't really do because there were the prop, the furniture. What I needed to do wasn't there, basically. So I just ad-libbed this crazy line, which they liked. So then after I came into the show, and it's a very fun show to do. Everyone is so cool. And I said to the director, I said to Bentley, so this line that I did in the audition, should I maybe do that here? He's all, yeah, try it. So I did, and everybody laughed. And so then one of the writers, Alex, says to me, you're coming back. There's another episode or two.
Wow.
And this is
And-
Bentley Evans from Jamie Foxx show and Martin. And
Right.
Yeah. Great
So-
What praise.
showrunner.
Yeah, so I came back, and funny, that line was in the script again.
Wow.
Nice.
So it like became this crazy thing that I had just sort of made up.
Can
They
you
had
tell us the
totally-
line, or will that
You have to
spoil-
watch the
think
show.
You have to watch the show.
Well,
Okay.
What a
I-
teaser.
I spoke to Casey, the casting director.
Oh, then do you know the line?
No, she won't even. So
She's the casting director for Love That
Love That
Girl.
Girl.
And
And-
The Butler.
Wow.
And they're
Yeah.
doing a
Well,
sequel called
Lee-
The Butt Help, which is a combination of The Help and The Butler.
Wow. And you know, Ralph,
man.
and you've worked 3 camera. That's interesting.
no
no wonder you're not booking.
He's had a lot of cake and wine.
I was
Wow.
gonna say,
and
no
he's
more
not
sugar.
used to it.
Wow.
But in that version, they get a second outdoor bathroom.
Okay.
Right.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh.
Wow. But as I was saying,
I am now not having the chocolate
even
cake, by
yeah,
the way.
Ralph made it. I don't know what's in it.
I'll have what he's having.
It's like pot brownies, I think. But no, Casey told me that Gregory had created this great catchphrase, as she called it, and you even
What is
signed
it?
you signed the wall there because they have a wall.
Oh
where,
yeah, they have this huge wall, and everyone's like signed it, and I didn't really notice it or pay attention to it because I was focused or whatever. And then someone said, "You haven't signed the wall yet. Go sign the wall." And I went, "Oh, so yeah." I went and wrote
What's
my
the catchphrase?
character.
You can't say it. You have to watch the
say
You
show.
have to watch the episode.
Do we have the air dates yet? Do we know?
I don't have the air
Okay.
dates yet. As soon as I do, I will post them on my Twitter and my Facebook.
And I'll put them on
blah,
the
blah, blah.
website as well. Yeah.
All right, yeah,
Because I think they're shot for the season. I mean, I think they wrap for the
that
season.
season is done.
As
And
a fellow
so-
actor, I love hearing Alex saying to you, "You're going to be coming back." What a great feeling for you.
Yeah, it was
Because
really great.
honestly, we've heard this before as actors, and a lot of times it never happens. So the fact that you know
That
what
it
I'm saying,
actually happened, yeah.
yeah, that they actually bring
And
you
it's
back.
nice, kudos to you. It's like when you've written something and you're getting an accolade for it, or say you perform a monologue for an audition and they love the monologue. It's it's a double whammy because it's like, oh, good, they like my acting and the writing.
That just happened to me the other day. I was actually auditioning for an agent, and I did this monologue. And when it was over, she said, "That was really good. What was that?" I said, "Well, that's from the screenplay that I wrote. Thank you." I didn't say it quite like that.
But it's always nice to say it after you've done it rather than before. This is something I've written because that can kind of taint
Right.
it a little
yeah,
bit.
no,
as
I
well,
would
too.
never tell anybody
Right.
what something's from.
Right.
Right.
Usually when you're as an actor, they don't care what it's from.
No.
Unless at the end, sometimes they ask, "What was that?" And then you tell them.
Yeah, which is great because you write, so
Yeah.
then you can just pull stuff out. What else are you? You've got so much going on always, but you've got directing wise, or do you have something coming up that's
Well, there's another project. Well, I'm
I mean-
still focusing on getting Deadly
Right,
Revisions
of course,
done
that's
and
your
out,
baby.
and I've been doing all of the what festivals am I going to hit first and all that because the timing, the window is huge. I mean, like if you want to do say Toronto, it's in September,
Right.
but you have to turn everything in by early spring. So
It's a full-time job.
It is. It
Festivals,
is.
that's a
and I
whole-
need help, so please call.
right? Because
What do you need help with?
Well,
Not for me, just to put it out there.
It's just there's so much information. There's so many festivals. I mean, it's become a business.
and the materials
basically.
they want, they
The
want more and
materials
more
they want.
stuff.
You need
What
like an
date-
assistant.
What date, when the things are due, exactly.
Right.
If there are any Jewish whores out there that
I
would
could
like
really
to
use
use
Unemployed,
Gregory that are
unemployed.
That's just
unemployed,
an old joke, Nathaniel, at
it
this
is.
point.
It does. Well, it
It's
is.
so 4:30
Jewish
p.m.
whores
It's,
is
what-
never out of style.
It's a 2-hour show, Dara. How old can it get? Okay.
Enough with the Jewish whores. Those two
How
words. That's
how
like
tall
an
of an
oxymoron.
intern do you want?
Right.
Ooh.
Wow.
Am I supposed to say something really awful like waist high?
Okay.
Linda Hunt's available. Oh no, she's shooting. Sorry. Anyway, so back to
We're gonna rise
back,
above.
yeah, back to so you've got that, but you've got more. You're always writing stuff. So
Yes, I have. I have another script that's finished that actually Bill is interested in, and
well, he'll just have to audition for that.
well, the story behind it is we were on the set of Deadly Revisions, and during some downtime, I actually had some. Oh my gosh, it was very rare, but it happened at this
Right.
time. The lights, the lighting crew was setting up. We knew where the camera was going to be. It was just a matter of getting everything ready. So Bill and I had this little quickie conversation about horror. He says, they never really make this
Horror.
kind of
Horror,
Yes,
not-
this has nothing-
don't go there,
has
Ralph.
With an
nothing to
H.
do- yes, thank you. 2 syllables.
Because I was about.
I know.
Yeah.
I was gonna mute you.
And they don't do this kind of horror film. And I said elucidate, and we talked a little bit about it. I said, you're right. That's interesting. And so I pretty much kind of sat down and started writing the kind of film we wanted to do.
Right.
And that's where
That's your next
where
one.
the strain came from. And so that's
Good.
what we will probably get involved in once I'm completely done with the Deadly Revisions roller coaster.
Well, back to your TV career now. Could Wendell be coming back next season?
God, I hope so.
Oh, good.
wow,
Let's put
great.
that out there.
How many episodes have you done for them?
I was in 3.
Oh, great.
And it's left open the way we end it with Wendell.
Yes,
could
he didn't
become a-
die.
He
I'll
doesn't-
reveal that.
He doesn't kill anybody yet. No,
Not that you'd know.
Well, I'm hoping this is going to lead to a lot more television stuff
I would love it.
because you should so be doing 3
Your
camera
reel
and
is
comedies.
great.
And
That reel that you have, your creepy reel.
Oh, the
is
creepy reel?
is great.
I watched that earlier.
You watch it too, yeah. You're really good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just sort of
You're
put that
Anthony
together
Perkins.
smaller.
Yes. Do you
very
get that?
Anthony Perkins. You
Oh,
hear
I
that,
love
right?
that.
Don't
Do
you
you
hear
ever-
that?
have you ever
I
gotten
haven't
that?
heard No, I haven't gotten that one. I've gotten, what have I get? Some Steve Buscemi people
Yeah.
go for, which I like. I kind of think sometimes I get Christopher Walken.
Mhm.
'Cause
I like
in
the
his
Anthony
really
Per-
creepier roles. And
But see, what's nice about you, you can do creepy, but you can also play like
Mainstream.
just the fun guy that later kills you.
nerdy,
Again, right.
nerdy.
The bodies
sidekick
are under
nobody
the
suspects.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're not
It's like
on
a-
the nose.
Do you know
creepy.
David Dean Bottrell?
No.
He's an actor that kind of
Yeah, they're very
that kind of aura. Who you? There's something slightly
Not
off.
quite right about
Yeah,
that
there's
guy.
a- you know,
Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
it's a fine line to play. I mean, you have to have it in you because if a director was saying try to come up with this quality, that's a really hard thing to mesh. And you guys have that. David he wears glasses, and he just has. There's just something about his work. And it was interesting because I saw your guys' back to back because a friend of David has an editor friend that created a creepy reel for David. David plays all these creepy characters.
Okay.
And his compilation is like yours. It's just one after the next, and each one is they always look basically the same, but there's always that twist, that like sick twist. So
I think that's kind of interesting that you mention him because I think to me that's like we talk about what your brand
What
is.
your
I'm
type
like,
is.
That's my type. It's like I'm definitely the person who is offbeat. And you can take that in any direction you want because I can be quirky, amusing, offbeat,
Quirky,
or I
funny.
can be disturbingly offbeat. Like he's not gonna make it through the episode without killing someone.
Right.
Well, and at
Kind of
the end of next month, we'll be needing a new Dexter.
That's true. Right here on this lot, they filmed.
Somebody, that's right.
it
Somebody
ends
was
in
just
its
saying,
release.
"Oh, I had the greatest compliment the other day. I think somebody else had seen my reel and said, you should have been the next Freddy Krueger.'"
Oh.
And you know, now normally in the real world that might be an insult, but to me that's like rockin' cool.
That's
Yeah.
like the
So,
ultimate.
You know,
Why? Inform me, Dexter. Is it the
It's
final
done.
season?
Final season
Okay.
will be
Yeah,
ending.
it's airing right now.
Yeah.
There
It
is.
so
is.
if they do
Very-
another show like that, yeah,
Right.
I'd
There's
be
talk of
into
a
it.
spin-off.
I see. Oh, there is a.
There was talk of a spin-off.
They all three need to be on it.
Oh.
Okay, thank
That
you,
would be
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Well, I'm still waiting for us to work
I know
together.
we have never worked. Well,
You
none
and
of
Bill
us
and
have
I.
ever
I
worked
know.
together.
Well, Ralph and I never will. No, we met working. We actually met working. Well, we weren't acting together, but we met.
He was a producer on a pilot that I did.
Yeah, that's
So-
right.
Well,
So
and
we
they-
kind of work
Yeah.
together.
They would never work together because they have different work ethnics.
Exactly. Thank you. That's right. Right, Ralph?
Exactly.
Obviously, it's late in the show.
You have to, yeah. You have to play
Oh,
back
that
to
is
hear
very
that one.
funny.
That was good. I like how
that's great,
you
Nathaniel.
reached back and got that.
No,
That's good.
Nathaniel, you're a
Yeah.
great co-host. You're really funny. I knew you'd be like this. After I met you,
That's
I was
not
telling
what you said. Oh. I'm sorry.
No, after reading your blogs now, I met you at that birthday cake screening.
Right, yeah.
And then when I started, I was telling Dara how about the capri pants in a comment that you had made. And so,
Well, first of all, there's
Did
so
you
much,
please
so
tell me,
much wrong with that
Please tell me
statement.
you didn't have on capri pants.
Oh, no, I'd have on pants at all.
no,
Okay, perfect. Better.
But not
I'd rather no pants.
It's
than
just hard to get the depends, in there.
But capris are not for anybody, really.
Well, Ralph could pull off
well,
capris.
capris are fierce. But anyway,
No, again, for no one.
But when I started reading your blog,
Oh, yeah.
that's when I said, "Oh God, you have got to be on our show," because I thought you guys would make a good duo together with entertainment and current stuff. And because I've been reading it more, because we're Facebook friends now, and I get to see it all the time. I like it because it's just it's just paragraph, done. Paragraph, and you get a chock full of information.
And I try to throw humor in there too. to
Right,
make
oh,
it-
yeah.
I try to make it an informative and entertaining read.
And where do we
just-
find it again?
I just realized, Ralph,
FrontiersLA.com.
FrontiersLA.com.
It's the Frontiers, which is the West Coast's largest gay publication.
Okay.
And it's their website.
Okay.
The printed version is out every 2 weeks, and I've been out since I was 12.
But
but
are you in the printed version too?
no,
Okay,
just
only on-
because it's daily. So
Oh,
I'm on
okay,
it
gotcha.
twice
do you have
a
to
day.
audition for the printed version? Or is
You
that,
do have to audition to read my column.
in fact,
I love it. That's
I would
auditions
fail.
are being
I would fail.
are being held tomorrow, right?
That
We
is
should give out
hilarious.
that
You actually have to
information.
audition to read my column. Okay?
Right.
Not anybody can just read this shit. Okay.
You're very
I
selective.
use 4-syllable words.
Grunt once for yes and twice for no.
Oh wow!
Take your face out of the pillow.
or out of your own sick. But I
What?
digress.
What's that?
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Well, Gregory, let's keep this professional.
Okay.
Where can everyone follow you, find you, run from you. No,
Yeah. Those that don't have restraining orders, how can they follow you?
right. I know you're on Twitter, Facebook.
Right. Yeah, if you Google me, you'll find I'm on Facebook and I'm on Twitter and I have a blog.
Do you have any weird
Blogger.
stalkers?
Do I at the moment, I hate to, curse myself, but I don't seem to have any weird stalkers.
Damn it.
Do you have
But that
any weird
might be because I
stockings?
placed some really disturbing, creepy characters. Maybe people are afraid to
You're
stalk me.
more
Good.
creepy than the stalkers.
So,
they're,
you know.
yeah.
Good.
That could be a deterrent.
Good.
Who stalks the stalkers?
right.
You have to have a security fence where you live first. You know.
That's right.
You know.
I have a security dog.
Oh, there you go.
She's about this big. and
Oh.
yeah.
She'll
She's
lick
as
people to
cute
death.
as can be. Wouldn't harm
Now,
a fly.
were you behind the Blair Witch project?
He's strong.
Not at
He's slurring his
all.
words. He's so slurring.
I wish I
Blair
had been
Witch.
a producer on that, though.
I thought it was about a fashion line, the Blair Witch Prada. It's very painful shoes.
Are you vibrating again, Tara? Did you get
Oh,
him?
you're telling my secrets. How do you think I get through 2 hours? Yes.
Well,
Yes,
someone
I am
just wrote
fine.
me, by the way, and said J-Lo is so bad in Parker, and I can't believe Taylor Hackford directed this, and Helen should divorce him. Okay, I thought it'd be a good note to just put that out there. There's some film called Parker that J-Lo's
Oh,
in.
she's not any good in it?
I don't know. I thought maybe Nathaniel.
Oh,
was
she
Parker.
works for a car valet service.
Wait, who sent you that on Twitter for the show?
Yeah, someone said. By the
Oh,
way,
thank
please
you for your
announce
tweet.
J-Lo is so bad in Parker, and I cannot believe Taylor directed this.
Who sent that
Helen
to you?
Mirren
Can you read
should
it?
direct him for this. LOL.
It was sent by. Apparently,
sent
it was
to
sent
you?
by the screenwriter of Parker.
As
Who
long as
sent
you
it?
say LOL, everything's fine.
Everything
right?
is fine.
Ralph, what are you doing to
Who
our,
sent it?
to our
No, because
guest?
I'm just moving because
Camera angle.
Jasper, who sent it to you? You don't know? It's
Just
private.
it's a listener.
Oh, a
they
listener.
tweeted.
Okay, this-
yeah,
Thank
they
you,
tweeted.
listener, our one and only listener.
I don't know,
This-
but they were
this
very
was in-
adamant. It had nothing to do with this show
Well,
or
Dennis
anything,
sent-
but
Dennis at 448 said that the San Francisco 49ers win.
Oh my God, who?
Just
Dennis
FYI.
is on prednisone, so he should
Wait,
relax.
the 49ers won? How many home runs did they get?
Please tell me
Yeah.
you don't care. What? You're
No.
kidding. You're so
Wah,
kidding.
wah.
He's kidding.
No, that's all he said.
That's it.
I came up here to get away from football.
Okay.
Okay? We're not talking
listen,
football.
because we're just gonna close out the show together. We want to give a big shout out to someone very special in Dara's life, Mr. Vin Scully, because it was announced this week he is going to be the Grand Marshal for the Rose Bowl parade.
Wow.
Wow.
And that is a big, big honor.
That's
That's
nice.
Dara's father-in-law.
And my,
Yes.
nice. And my mother's name is Rose. So Rose Parade, Vin Scully. So that's how that.
And
ties
years
in.
ago, Ralph tried to be in the Rose Court, didn't you? To be one of the in the parade.
Miss
but
Pasadena?
Right.
You wanted to be Miss Pasadena.
Right. No, after I did Sisterella, and yeah, so that worked out really well.
Yeah,
for me.
but that is quite an honor for
No,
Ben.
we're
so
very
Want to
excited,
give a shout
very
out
proud.
to him and the whole family, and yeah.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
And I wanted to remind Planet Earther that next month we'll be back on October 6th, which happens to be my half birthday. So I didn't even try to. I didn't even try to boomerang
What
it to
is
myself.
a half
Some of us
birthday?
will
I
be
guess
back.
his birthday's in the
Listen,
spring.
how awkward was it for
February?
me? October. How?
But when is your real birthday?
April. April 6th. Okay. Wow.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
afraid it meant that mom was giving birth and the doctor put him back in for a little bit.
He's not done yet.
I think he stayed in too long, and that may be part of the problem.
Now, you know, I don't always like to boomerang things to myself, but we like to announce when the next show is. And when
Right.
I saw that it was going to be on October 6th, and I thought, oh my God, it's my half birthday. I'll have to let Planet Earther know.
Wow.
Yes. So start planning your gifts
Is that a new
now.
voice for the voiceover reel?
For my
as
voiceover
well?
reel.
I noticed you try to get one new one in on every show.
Well, no, and I wanted to do it while Michael Chancellor was here, you know, just to give him some ideas. You
Give me
know?
something to edit around and
Ouch.
to edit out. Okay, stop.
Oh my God, they can't even high five.
Did you notice that? I told you.
Do it again. Oh, okay.
See, I told you it's a different worth ethnic.
Are we done?
No, we're not done. So, okay, everyone, please please look out for Love That Girl. We will get the air dates when they're coming up.
Yeah, I think
Weird
they start in
Wendell.
October.
What, what,
good.
what
So it's starting
station?
next
It's on TV1. Yeah,
TV1.
check your local cable
So-
stations.
What episodes do you know? Oh, you don't know. Will it be
Ralph.
the first episode? What? Shut up.
We just covered that.
No,
yeah.
but
He
it
doesn't
starts
know
in
when.
October. Will he be in episode 1 when it starts in October?
Not the first episode,
Okay.
no. I
Right.
know that. I'm pretty sure, unless they start
Change
in
the
the
order.
middle of a story. But,
I see.
Right.
yeah.
Unless it becomes all about
You're-
Weird
It's
Wendell.
now the
which
Weird Wendell show.
Well,
No,
it could be the spinoff.
It's a spinoff
Wouldn't
would be awesome.
That would be great.
But
Yes.
it would be really interesting to see how that would work, though.
Well, we're
spinoff-
gonna.
See,
There's
we'll
a
see what
teaser.
happens.
But a
We're gonna put
spinoff
that
of
out
Love
there.
That Girl,
Yeah.
right? Oh, easy. A spinoff would be Love Boat That Girl.
Love boat that. Wow.
Or love both.
We
them
do
girls.
make a
Okay.
joke actually in the show. There's a point. I'm not going to give it
No,
away.
don't give it away.
Never
No, I
mind.
can't wait to see it. I'm gonna.
Nathaniel, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
I'm sorry
Thank
that your
you.
mic was off the whole show, but we'll have you back soon so we can fix that.
But I represent the mute community quite nicely.
Dara, thank you as always for making the big trek up in your town car and with the driver from Orange County. Ralph.
You're welcome.
Not so
Yeah,
much.
it's all good. Rose, we love you. Thanks for coming in. Everyone, Dennis Trone, feel better. Thanks to all of our sponsors, our viewers. You've been listening to On the Set with Jasper Cole. We will see you in October. Bye, bitches.
Bye-bye, Planet Earth.
Don't miss a minute of On the Set with Jasper Cole and get the inside scoop on everything going on behind the scenes in Hollywood.